be honest. So it's a new for me, and good preparation coming for me playing here and going into the Pakistan series later on. So if I can get as much information as I can from these sorts of surfaces, it'll be, and it's a good experience as well, and hopefully can increase my my playing.
Thanks very much, Colin. Much appreciated, and good luck for this evening.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's also on PA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No? Come on, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm speaking a little softly, but where's sound here? What's going on here? PA is okay. We need to get television going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rohit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. PA, you can just reduce it a bit, please, for the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can somebody count it better than I can? Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now that I've got the microphone, well, thank you everybody for being here. I hope you enjoyed that first match. People made it pretty close. We're almost set for the toss for the second match, but it's going to take a little time till we can get our audio sorted out. I hope you're enjoying all the action. I think it's a very, very special start to the Afghanistan Premier League. And we also must thank the sponsors for assisting this effort. So much hard work, as you can imagine, by so many people to make this league happen. But happen, it has. And we remain very grateful to all those who contributed. So where are we now with the audio? No? Okay, so we're going to do double mic this. That's what we've done. Rohit, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rohit! 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Rashid, thoda sa paas, yeah. Oh, who's got the, yeah, so come on, Nabi, close to me, because you're calling. And you will hear the call anyway, yeah? And of course, sure. Well, it's turned out to be a rather pleasant Sharjah evening as we get set to toss for match number 2 on the second day. So it's actually match number 3, but we're all set. To my left, of course, the two skippers from Balkh first, one of the most experienced players of Afghanistan, Mohammad Nabi, the skipper. And to his left, Rashid Khan, the new hero on the block, representing Kabul as the captain. And of course, David Duke, the match referee. So if we're all set, I think Rashid has the coin. Mohammad Nabi, your call. Heads is the call. And David, there's a long trek till you can find out what it is. It's a head. It is a head. So Mohammad Nabi, you call, and what would you like to do if you...
Yeah, we'll call first.
Oh, you did? Okay, that was pretty easy. Thank you very much. Listen, we haven't seen you in the tournament so far, so give us a sense of the balance of the team, Nabi.
Yeah, we have a lot of good balance from the youngster reserve, from the foreign players as well, and also the national senior players as well. We have quite mixed up combination in the team as well, and hopefully we do well in the team.
Well, some of your overseas stars may be missing this point of time, but what's the level of dependency on the overseas stars compared to the boys from Afghanistan?
Yeah, depend on the not that much in overseas. We depend on a local players as well because if you the local boys play well, that the overseas combination will be very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and did you watch the match yesterday when Kabul chased down 218? What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's a quite good game in the start of the tournament. Was chasing about 200 runs in this kind of pitches. Hopefully, we do better today. Yeah.
Well, I wish you good luck, Mohammad Nabi. Thank you. All right, Rashid, you will be batting first. So today, no chasing. What are you going to set?
I don't know how the wicket will behave at night time. Let's see that whether there's a view or not. But we just need to play positive cricket. We just need to do the basics right, and let's see whatever the result is.
What about the team morale after that win yesterday? Must be sky high.
Definitely, while chasing 220 in a very first game of the tournament, it's always very crucial for everyone. So I think we did well. We did in all departments well, bowling, batting, and fielding. So we will just try to keep that momentum going on.
Only one thing missing from yesterday's match, no wickets for the big star. But of course, only 27 and 4 overs. So maybe a personal goal, a few wickets today?
I don't focus a lot and don't thinking a lot about taking wickets. I just focus on my on economy and to bowl economically well. So I did that, while bowling in that deep ball was a little bit tough for me. But quite happy with the result we got at the end.
All right, good luck again for this match today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So just confirmation then from middle for our feature match tonight. Balkh win the toss, and Mohammad Nabi said he will bowl first.
Audio check, audio check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. And you're bowling, aren't you? Are you bowling first or batting first? Batting first. I'm down here with Javed Ahmadi. Javed, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Now, you've had the advantage, of course, of playing last night. What did you learn from last night's game that you can take into tonight?
Yeah, definitely. We played yesterday, but we just learn about that. If you play positive, especially in this kind of wicket, and go to the end, so might be any kind of chasing, or you make a target, any kind of target. So that's pretty easy in that kind of wickets.
Improvement with the ball, perhaps? Obviously, you conceded over 200 last night, or was it just that conditions were difficult?
Yeah, in my opinion, the condition is very tough for the fast bowler and spinner as well. So nothing about that. Might be today's there is no dew, so we will be bowl positively.
So you're going to have to bat first tonight. So just tell us about the different mindset there.
I don't think so too much difference because did you see yesterday as well, they're batting first and they make a 220 and then will be chaseable. So that is, in my opinion, that is fine. Everything is batting first and we just focus on the basic and do right things.
And is it a case of focusing on what you can do rather than Balkh? Because Balkh are a very impressive side on paper.
If you watch in our side bowling, so we all yesterday you see we bowl not that much well, but we bat well. So we will be again. I saying that we will be do basics and do right.
Javed, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and good luck this evening.
Thank you.
Well, that's how it ended for the Nangarhar Leopards. They prevailed in their opening encounter against the Kandahar Knights. They had a few stutters along the way, but in the end, a lovely square cut finishing proceedings and getting them on the board in the Afghanistan Premier League for 2018. That's how it panned out. 139 for 9, the Kandahar Knights winning the toss, electing to bat first, didn't make the best of conditions, should have got a few more than that, but take nothing away from the Nangarhar Leopards. Their bowling was spot on, took their catches, and when it was their turn to bat, 142 for 4. Good partnership at the end between Shafiqullah and, well, Tarakai and Johnson Charles, contributors as well. And in the end, 6 wickets was the margin of victory, and very comfortable as well. Well, we're at the same venue. We're at the Sharjah Cricket Association Stadium, and this is match 3. And it's coming to you live from Sharjah in the Afghanistan Premier League 2018. Kabul Zwanan against the Balkh legends who are making their entry into the competition. And, well, Kabul last night winning a thrilling chase, chasing down 218. Laurie Evans, the star of the show. Can they make it 2 from 2? Or can the Balkh legends get into the game, get into the competition and get their first points? That's the squad for the Balkh legends. Plenty of quality on show, both from an international perspective and from a local perspective. Mohammed Nabi is the talismanic captain of the Balkh legends, and well, they've got plenty on their plate insofar as selecting the playing 11, because as mentioned, there's plenty of ability there. Coach, of course, is Simon Helmut, and he's the Aussie coach, and he's been around T20 cricket, so he knows exactly what's required to win games in this shortest format of the game. Rightio, and before they go out there and do the toss and whatnot, let's go and hear what some of the players have to say. Brian Murgatroyd caught up with Colin Munro.
I'm down here with Colin Munro. Colin, thanks very much for joining us. Now, there have been 2 matches so far. What have you seen of them and what have you made of them?
Yeah, 2 very different games, I think. Last night, obviously, very good wicket and a lot of dew. And then obviously today was, and last night obviously high scoring, and then today not so high scoring with it being a little bit drier. And speaking with a few of the boys from the last game, a little bit too pace. So, yeah, we'll see what the wicket has to involve, and you know, who knows, the dew might come in. It might be a really good surface later on.
In terms of your preparations with Balkh, how's it gone for you and also for the team in general?
Yeah, we've had one training together and got to know the boys quite well there, and you know, had a day off yesterday and just did our own thing. So, you know, it's new coming into a new team, obviously, and yeah, hopefully we can come together and show a good performance, especially in the field. That's one thing that we've spoken about. Batting and bowling, you know, those things happen individually, but as a group, hopefully we can field well.
Just talk to us about your experience of playing in these sorts of conditions.
I haven't played too much in the UAE, to be honest, so it's a new for me, and good preparation coming for me playing here and going into the Pakistan series later on. So if I can get as much information as I can from these sorts of surfaces, it'll be, and it's a good experience as well, and hopefully it can increase my, you know, my playing.
Thanks very much, Colin. Much appreciated, and good luck for this evening.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there we have it. Colin Munro, not really experienced in these conditions, and it'll be interesting to see how it pans out tonight. Will the pitch play the same as it did in the first innings? Will it be low scoring, or will dew come into play again and make it easier for batting, the ball skidding on? Plenty of support here in Sharjah, and for this Afghanistan Premier League, lots of music and lots of enthusiastic fans as well, and they've come to see another cracking game. Rightio, now what everybody's been waiting for. Who's going to bat, who's going to bowl? Charu Sharma's down there with the 2 captains.
Well, it's turned out to be a rather pleasant Sharjah evening as we get set to toss for match number 2 on the second day. So it's actually match number 3, but we're all set. To my left, of course, the 2 skippers from Balkh first, one of the most experienced players of Afghanistan, Mohammed Nabi, the skipper. And to his left, Rashid Khan, the new hero on the block, representing Kabul as the captain. And of course, David Duke, the match referee. So if we're all set, I think Rashid has the coin. Mohammed Nabi, your call.
Head.
Heads is the call. And David, that's a long trek till you can find out what it is.
A head.
It is a head. So Mohammed Nabi, you call, and what would you like to do? Have you...
Yeah, we'll bowl first here.
Oh, you did? Okay, that was pretty easy. Thank you very much. Listen, we haven't seen you in the tournament so far, so give us a sense of the balance of the team, Nabi.
Yeah, we have a lot of good balance start from the youngster as well, from the foreign players as well, and also the national senior players as well. We have quite mixed up combination in the team as well, and hopefully we do well in the tournament.
Well, some of your overseas stars may be missing this point of time, but what's the level of dependency on the overseas stars compared to the boys from Afghanistan?
Yeah, depend on the not that much in overseas. We depend on our local players as well, because if the local boys play well, that the overseas combination will be very good. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you watch the match yesterday when Kabul chased down 218? What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's a quite good game in the start of the tournament. What chase about 200 runs in this kind of pitches. Hopefully we do better today. Yeah.
Well, I wish you good luck, Mohammad Nabi. Thank you. All right. Rashid, you will be batting first. So today, no chasing. What are you going to set?
I don't know how the wicket will behave at night time. Let's see that whether there is a due or not. But we just need to play positive cricket. We just need to do the basics right, and let's see whatever the result is.
What about the team morale after that win yesterday? Must be sky high.
Definitely, while chasing 220 in a very first game of the tournament, it's always very crucial for everyone. So I think we did well. We did in all departments well, bowling, batting and fielding. So we will just try to keep that momentum going on.
Only one thing missing from yesterday's match, no wickets for the big star. But of course, only 27 in 4 overs. So maybe a personal goal, a few wickets today?
I don't focus a lot and don't thinking a lot about taking wickets. I just focus on my economy and to bowl economically well. So I did that, while bowling in that deep ball was a little bit tough for me. But quite happy with the result we got at the end.
All right, good luck again for this match today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So just confirmation then from middle for our feature match tonight. Balkh win the toss, and Mohammad Nabi said he will bowl first.
Well, there we have it. News from out in the middle is the Balkh Legends, captained by Mohammad Nabi, have won the toss. They're going to bowl first, and that's how they're going to stack up. Colin Munro, Usman Ghani and Ravi Bopara. They're going to occupy the top 3 positions, you'll have to say. Ryan Tenduskata, he's been around the world, played a lot of IPL cricket as well, all-rounder. We'll see if he bowls his little medium paces, but plenty to do with the bat. Mohammad Nabi, of course, he's going to have to do a little bit with bat and ball, you'll have to say. Probably come down the order and bowl his full quota of 4 overs of off-spin. And Gulbadin Naib, well, he's a really good all-rounder and can bat and bowl and field as well. And he'll look to have a key game as well. Ben Laughlin rounds up the bowlers, and he's another Aussie that can get it done on these particular surfaces. Kabul Zwanan, well, they've got Luke Runchi, Javed Ahmadi, Colin Ingram now into the side. Of course, they won chasing 219 yesterday, and it was that man, Laurie Evans, that led them home. What an innings he played. Rashid Khan, of course, always a threat, the #1 all-rounder in the world. Wayne Parnell, well, didn't look at his best the other night, and he'll look to have a better game. And Zakir Shahzad, he'll also look to have a better game than he had the other night. But still a formidable outfit, plenty of star players there, plenty of depth, and they'll look to get another victory and 2 from 2. Rightio, Brian Murgatroyd has been a pretty busy chap. He's down sideline again.
David, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Now, you've had the advantage, of course, of playing last night. What did you learn from last night's game that you can take into tonight?
Yeah, definitely. We played yesterday, but we just learn about that. If you play positive, especially in this kind of wicket, and go to the end, so might be any kind of chasing, or you make a target, any kind of target. So that's pretty easy in that kind of wickets.
Improvement with the ball, perhaps? Obviously, you conceded over 200 last night, or was it just that conditions were difficult?
Yeah, in my opinion, the condition is very tough for the fast bowler and spinner as well. So nothing about the, might be today's, there is no due, so we will be bowl positively.
So you're going to have to bat first tonight. So just tell us about the different mindset there.
I don't think so too much difference because did you see yesterday as well, they're batting first and they make a 220 and then will be chaseable. So that is, in my opinion, that is fine. Everything is batting first and we just focus on the basic and do right things.
And is it a case of focusing on what you can do rather than Balkh? Because Balkh are a very impressive side on paper.
If you watch in our side bowling, so we all yesterday you see we bowled not that much well, but we bat well. So we will be again. I think that we will be do basics and do right.
Javed, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and good luck this evening.
Thank you.
There we have it. Views from both camps. Colin Munro, Javed Ahmadi giving their 5 cents of what might transpire here tonight. And an expectant crowd building up as well. We're also very excited to see what pans out here this evening. A thrilling chase by Kabul, of course, yesterday evening. And we've seen the first game under the sunshine, not under the artificial lights. Very much more low scoring. This pitch seems to be holding up a little bit too paced. There was a bit of turn as well. Be interesting to see if that's still the case as the dew falls, or does the ball skid on a bit more and become easier for batting. Mohammad Nabi, just a reminder, winning the toss, electing to bowl first. So he wants first dibs at these conditions and reckons that whatever Kabul said, they will be able to chase. And, well, wouldn't bet against them. But Kabul will be flying high from their performance last night. They know they have the firepower to get big scores. And they're going to have to set something reasonably large, I'd have to say, on this particular surface. It remains to be seen how many they're able to get tonight. Balkh, of course, making their debut in the competition. And they'll be looking to get their first points on the board and make sure that they get their tournament off to a fast start. Nothing better than winning your first game to get the confidence up and running. Alongside me, AJ Mera. What do you make of it, AJ?
Thanks a lot, Alistair. Yes, I think it's going to be an important game, and Kabul, of course, coming off a victory yesterday. It was a very good win for them, chasing a big score. They'll be high on confidence. And these are the lineups now, the playing 11. Luke Ronchi, of course, a wicketkeeper for Kabul. He's a seasoned campaigner. Laurie Evans playing a very good knock. Cameo yesterday. Rashid Khan, experienced campaigner, can deliver with the bat, with the ball. Muslim Musa, Wayne Parnell. So a very good side. The balance looks to be good. And Balkh legends, of course, they have Colin Munro, Ravi Bopara, Mohammad Nabi, experienced man leading them. And wasn't surprised, Alistair, that he chose to bowl first, because if dew sets in, it's always better chasing. You know the target, the wicket just eases up, the ball skids onto the bat, batting becomes much easier. So not a big surprise. Although so far, I was down out there wasn't much dew, so depends. And yesterday, of course, in that first match, there was a bit of dew, so that really helped Kabul as well chasing. It's all in readiness here. Both the openers out there in the middle. It's again a fantastic atmosphere here at the Sharjah cricket ground. Luke Ronchi, of course, the right-hander, opening the innings experience behind him. 1950 is his best, career best, 102 so far. 176th game for him. So tremendous experience. He's a good striker. And partnering him at the other end, of course, one man who looked in good touch yesterday, Zazai. Azratullah Zazai, 117 runs. Still going to be learning curve for him. 350s for him in his T20 career. Starting with spin here. And that's pretty interesting. The captain himself, as they say, leading from the front, Alistair.
Yeah, we saw Ben Cutting do a tremendous job leading from the front in the previous game. 5 wickets for him. Mohammad Nabi taking the responsibility early on, deciding to bowl the first over to Luke Ronchi. Luke Ronchi, well, he comes with plenty of pedigree, plenty of experience. And he missed out in the first game last night. He'll look to make amends here tonight and try and get his team off to a fast start. Career strike rate of 154, Luke Ronchi, across 176 games. That is just outstanding. So we're just waiting to clear the viewing area for the batsman, getting the side screen closed and making sure that Luke Ronchi has full sight of the new white ball. He's bowled in various circumstances in T20 cricket, Mohammad Nabi, from opening the bowling in the middle, bowling at the death as well. So he knows exactly what's required and what lengths and what pace he has to bowl on this particular surface. Right, we're ready to get underway here for this third game of the Afghanistan Premier League for 2018. Mohammad Nabi, the Balkh Legends captain, to open up. Punch down the ground, so off the mark straight away, Luke Ronke. Just early indications of a wee bit of turn as well. We saw in the previous game that there was turn, particularly from the left-arm spinners. They got the ball to deviate significantly on occasion. With the new ball, generally, you find that it'll turn a little less until it starts gripping a little bit. And as mentioned, and as we saw in the game yesterday, what factor will the dew play?
And for the left-hander, for the southpaw, he's got a slip in place straight away. Off spinner against the left-handed batsman. Once again, darting it in. Those will be runs here. Played fine. Chase for the fielder. Does well in the end. Couple of runs here for Hazratullah to start with, opening his account with those couple of runs. You're right, Alistair. This is a different wicket if you compare it with yesterday. There was a bit of grass covering today, not much grass on the surface. The ball just scraping a bit. That's the reason when you toss it up, he's getting a bit of turn, even with the new ball.
He's a canny cricketer, Mohammad Nabi. He'll know exactly the pace required for this particular surface. And he mixes it up as well. There's the arm ball, but a swing as well. Got the seam nice and upright and got it to drift into the left-hander.
A nice drift there. And that was the reason didn't get the timing right. You see the drift, the ball coming inwards to the left-hand batsman. Once again, played it fine. Not intentional, but will be a 4 here. Fogg maximum 4. The first one of this match.
Seemed to toe-end it, Luke Ronke. There was a bit of width on offer, so he was able to free his arms, but didn't make the requisite contact. Not out the middle of the bat, off the bottom of the bat. That allows it to beat the man. A short third man on the offside. He doesn't mind, he'll take it. Once it got on the ground and running, it was always going to run away for 4. So they'll be happy with the first over. 9 for none. Just a reminder of the two sides, how they stack up here tonight for this third game in the Afghanistan Premier League. Well, there's plenty of strength on both sides. Plenty of good overseas players and plenty of local talent as well. Should be a very, very interesting matchup. Nice over to start with as well for the Kabul outfit. 9 for no wicket. Mohammad Nabi deciding to bowl that first over, and that'll be Aftab Alam, who's going to be given the responsibility of bowling the second over. Slip in place.
Yeah, one man who was really bowling very impressively, the Asia Cup, Aftab Alam. Had a very good Asia Cup, really bowled well in the death overs, especially remember a few games that I was covering, really delivered for his side, Afghanistan. And really is a very good find. Will be interesting what kind of movement he gets under lights straight away.
Right, how's Hasratullah Zazai going to play? He likes to get on with it, likes to particularly fetch it up and over the onside between mid-on and mid-wicket. But Aftab Alam will know him very well. They're obviously played a lot against each other, know each other's games, so he'll know what's required and what length he needs to bowl. Mid-on was thinking of going back, but Mohammad Nabi has kept him up. Definitely protection on the leg side, though, with mid-wicket out on the fence. There he goes, and that'll be a boundary. He likes it in that area. Opens the front leg, creates a bit of room and heaves it away through square leg.
Coming with a very positive frame of mind. Just heaving on the onside, just making a slight room for himself. A lot of bottom hand in that strike. But more importantly, played in the gap. Big gap on the onside. Fetching him a fork 4. Not very happy with that, Aftab Alam.
Immediately forces a field change. The third man up in the circle, mid-on now back, and square leg now back in a more orthodox position. So they're trying to block the scoring areas for Zazai. No. It's no holding back. He's going to take full advantage of this first 6 overs. That's what he's out there to do, and he's going to make sure he gives it a fair crack tonight. Just wasn't fluent enough in that first game. But you just get the feeling tonight he's prepared to open the shoulders again, prepared to take on the bowling, prepared to throw a bit of caution to the wind. Oh, slower ball, good thinking, but the direction not quite what he would have wanted after Balam. He's looking for anything up in his half, Zai, so I don't think this is a bad effort, whether it be a genuine bouncer or the slower ball bouncer. Just needs to get the direction right.
Yeah, Hazratullah will be going after anything in his area, in his slot. But this time trying to vary his pace, just erring in his line. Earlier he tried that full length delivery as well to the left-hander. Oh, cleaned him up. That was a soft dismiss, a loose shot there. Trying to once again carve it away on the onside. But Aftab has the final say, bagging his first wicket in this game.
One big shot too many, trying to heave it away again on the leg side, his favoured scoring area. And on this occasion getting the under edge and the ball cannoning into the stumps. The front leg was open, the bat was horizontal, and he didn't make anywhere near the requisite contact. Under edge, ungainly in the end. And Aftab Alam, he's delighted. He picks up the first wicket. Balkh get breakthrough. Zai gone for 7, 15 for 1. Colin Ingram, the new man to the crease. Didn't see him yesterday. Jetted in this morning, I think it was, and immediately into the fray. One of the good players, the marked players on the international circuit. 193 games, so plenty of experience playing for a lot of sides all around the world. And he's in early here, the second over, because Zai, well, he's played a rather agricultural stroke, you'd have to say. Opened the front leg, trying to smear it away on the leg side. And, well, in the end, not the desired result, but exactly how the Balkh legends would have wanted to start.
Yeah, the line of the delivery was around the off stump and trying to work the ball on the onside. That's the reason, inside edge, hitting onto the stumps. That's exactly what Aftab was looking at. It was fired up. Wanting a single refused by his partner. It's 15 for 1.
Go on, boys, go on.
That's how it stands at the moment, early doors in this encounter. Kabul Zwanan put into bat by the Balkh legends, 15 for 1. This is a big partnership, you'd have to think. Ronke and Ingram, two of the best in the business, plenty of experience.
Well
And if
bowling,
Kabul
well.
are going to get another big score, just get the feeling that there has to be a bit of a partnership between these two.
Yeah, both are good strikers, and Mohammad Nabi, of course, bowling is up second over. Oh, that's a good delivery, straightening with the arm. Taking the wheels off in a flash as well. Just seeing the body language, he was probably well in. Luke Ronchi.
Gee, he's a good bowler, this bloke. Just got so many subtle variations. And that's the key. He really is spot on with his decision making insofar as what he looks to do, what he looks to execute, how he reads the batsman.
Stop. Well bowling, well bowling.
And at the moment, he's bowling a terrific spell.
Exactly what panned out. A few deliveries back, but he was well in. The back foot was important. Inside the crease once again. Shot for leg before. Good over so far from Mohammad Nabi. Really testing the batsman. Showing a lot of variations. Varying his pace. Using the crease to very good effect.
Surprised he hasn't tried the sweep shot. That's one of his go-to shots, Luke Ronchi.
Catch.
And this time hits it through the offside. Not quite timed as he would have wished, but he gets it in the gap and away from the man, diving a bit off for a welcome boundary.
Well, this time getting good connection. More importantly, played in the gap, was in the air for some time. Exactly what he was doing. Good pad flow from Luke Ronchi. Good try in the end, but really wide of the field. Oh, that's castled. Striking timber, the captain himself. And Kabul losing the second wicket. Not a great shot attempted after that boundary from Luke Ronchi.
Yeah, a bit too paced, we heard the wicket would be on that occasion. It's short, it's held up, and he's through the shot before the ball's arrived. And he's missed it and been cleaned up. Shorter, he's gone back to play the pull shot. It does stay down a little bit, does grip a little bit in the pitch. But you have to say, should have probably done a bit better than that, Luke Ronchi. The head was towards where the ball was going, wasn't watching it. And Mohammad Nabi, well, he never shows too much emotion, but he's got a wicket. And Luke Ronchi gone for 11, 19 for 2 now, Kabul. Not what the doctor ordered if you're a Kabul fan. 2 down early on. Javed Ahmadi, the new man to the crease. And they've got a bit of repair work to do here. 21 matches for him. Strike rate just over 120, best of 75. We saw glimpses of his ability last night, and he's got to go a bit deeper here tonight. And they're under pressure early. Can't help but think that they Kabul fans, very subdued, sitting in their chairs at the moment. They were hoping for a few fireworks early on, and it hasn't been that way.
That's played well. And that's going to be a fork 4. Playing it fine, just earning down the pad line. Opening his account as well, Colin Ingram, for that 4. Would be disappointed, especially after that wicket by Mohammad Nabi in the last over. Want to create that pressure. Not a great delivery with the fine leg fielder inside the circle. That was Gulbadin.
He's a wizard when it comes to timing and placement, Colin Ingram. He's done it all around the world. He's just one of these silent accumulators, but make no mistake, when it comes time to have a crack and find the boundary and go big, he can do that as well. And he's the ideal person to be in for Kabul in this particular situation. He won't get bogged down. He'll make sure that he's rotating the strike and he'll find the boundary when he needs to.
Yeah, this is the time when they have to rebuild the innings, and they need a partnership. And Ahmadi is here because this was the wicket. Poor shot selection, soft dismissal, and to work the ball on the onside, missing the line. The surface, as you mentioned, too pace as well. Just playing that shot early. Luke Ronchi, but the captain striking. He's done well. The important factor for Balkh, they've picked up 2 early wickets. Slip in place now. for Ahmadi on strike.
Malcolm Waller in the vest in the forefront, a late inclusion for the Balkh Legends. Not playing today, 12th man today.
But surely Alistair doesn't look the same wicket that we saw yesterday. That was a belter. The ball was coming nicely. Here the ball just gripping the surface, stopping a bit. I reckon probably even 160, 170 should be a decent score. If Kabul can manage that, they still have batting left. They have depth in the batting lineup.
Yeah, you make a good point. I think the key here is not to be too greedy. It's not the same wicket as the other night. We haven't really seen evidence of much dew. Maybe it'll come down a bit later. But I do think it's considerably less of a batting wicket or batting friendly wicket than it was the other night. And I think you just got to adjust your sights accordingly and make sure that you set your sights on that 150, 160. I think that's a pretty decent score on this surface and will test the side batting second. But the last thing you want to do in this particular situation is be too greedy, go too hard, and suddenly, like we saw in the first game, you find yourself 40 for 4, and then you're trying to chase the game from there on in.
Yeah, we saw with Asghar Afghan that he did mention that, you know, when they won the toss in the last game, that they wanted 160, 170. They fell short in that game. So probably, as you rightly mentioned, don't be too greedy. Just replan your strategy. Probably 160, 170 on this surface. Even in the night game, the second game should be a decent score. That's in the air. And very nicely timed as well by Ahmadi. 4 overs gone, 28 for 2.
Welcome boundary of the last delivery of the previous over. And Javed Ahmadi off the mark. So 28 for 2 after 4 overs. And this was that shot. Just not a good delivery. Deserved to be put away. A half tracker really. And he quickly rocked back and was able to hit it away through mid-wicket in front of square. Not a great delivery to end what was a decent over up to that stage.
Yeah, you're right, because especially had a slip in place and the line ought to be on the off stump. Going to be a change in bowling. Mirwais Ashraf coming on from the pavilion end in place of the captain Mohammad Nabi, who just took a wicket. 26 wickets for him in his T20 career. Economy pretty decent, 6.37.
Here we go, so on the money straight away, Mirwais. He's been a good campaigner for Afghanistan over the years, a wholehearted performer, and gives us everything when he's out there in the middle. Not the most orthodox of actions, and that sometimes makes it very difficult for the batsman to pick him up. Some bowlers you can pick up very easily, and other bowlers you just struggle with somewhat because of the way they get into their action and the way they deliver the ball at the crease.
Yeah, he's not the pacey kind, and definitely the batsman will have to force the way. But what Ashraf needs to do is just bowl a decent line and length around the off stump. He's got a ring of fielders on the off for the left-hander for the South Ingram.
Yeah, it's up and over. Width off it, and he's not going to miss out there, Colin Ingram. One of his strong areas. He's up and over the offside. And it was on a lovely length that allowed him to free his arms, and he's played a lovely, lovely stroke.
Yeah, that's a majestic strike. Was in the air, but he knew exactly what he was doing. Just making a bit of room for himself. A lot of power in that stroke as well. Good bat flow. The bat speed was tremendous. Racing across the turf, rocketing into the fence. 9 of 7.
Change of pace, up in the air, gone! What a good piece of bowling. Mirwais has come back. He could easily have crumbled in the situation, bowling to Colin Ingram. But he's thought through the pressure. He's turned up with the slower ball. And Colin Ingram hasn't picked it. And all he's done is hit it straight to cover.
Yeah, and Gulbadin taking a good catch as well. Mixing his pace. Once again attempting the seam shot, which he got up for. But this time straight to the fielder. And Gulbadin accepting that gleefully. And Mirwais is delighted. Third wicket falling here for the Kabul side. Ingram walking back. Ejected out for 9. Is 32 for 3 now.
$32 for 3. They're under pressure here, make no mistake. And here comes the hero of last night, Laurie Evans. Can he repeat the dose? He comes in a very sort of similar situation. All to do here for Kabul, because they're in a spotter bother. Change of pace. A little off-cutter from Mirwais, and all Colin Ingram can do is muscle it straight to Gulbadin Naib at cover. Trying to get it up and over. Not able to get the elevation, and well, he struck, and he's very, very delighted with what he's been able to achieve there.
Yeah, he's had the last laugh, isn't it? Because he was hit for a 4. Nice boundary by Ingram, and then changing the pace, once again trying the seam shot, Ingram, but finding the fielder, Gulbadin, and good neat catch as well from him. Evans into the crease now. He's really batted well, especially yesterday. There'll be a hand confidence, but remember, this is a different game. Has got to start from the scratch. Balkh legends should be very happy the kind of start they have got. In the first power play, you pick up 3 or 4 wickets. It's always crucial, always important.
That one stays a bit low, but he's off the mark, Laurie Evans. Guides it down to third man. End of 5, 53 for 3.
Bowling change right arm over. Correct.
Far from the ideal start for Kabul after they were put into bat. 3 early successes for Balkh. And Ben Loughlin coming into the attack now from the Sharjah club end. One of the most experienced players in the Australian Big Bash League. Charu Sharma alongside me. Good evening, Charu.
Good evening, Brian. Not very clever by Kabul. I must say Mohammad Nabi bowled very well, his 2 overs. But the others have been not spectacular. And we've got to put some blame on the Kabul batsmen for, I'm not suggesting that they were rejoicing excessively after their terrific chase yesterday, but it's been poor so far. 3 for 3.
That's more like it, though, from Laurie Evans, taking up where he left off yesterday evening. Very pleasing drive to the offside for a couple.
What a knock yesterday. Wow, Laurie Evans was a revelation. Of course, he's done it for many teams in the past, but here he is again. And if he can play anything like he did yesterday, well, Kabul still have plenty of hope. So here are the wickets. And inside edge, never pleasing. And then, of course, that swing. The ball keeping a little low on that occasion. Mohammad Nabi picking up those, and then Ingram being tricked by the slower one. So Mirwais is delighted. And Kabul will be worried. That captain, Rashid Khan, doesn't celebrate too much. And, of course, more known for his bowling, but he may have to come back and play a big hand with the bat today.
Ben Loughlin, the leading wicket taker in the history of the Big Bash League in Australia. 85 wickets for the Adelaide Strikers and Hobart Hurricanes. The next most in the tournament history is 63. So it's him and then Daylight.
85 is a number. He can bowl. And today, if he can strike again, then his team may get off to a great start in the tournament. He's up against a man in form, though, so always makes a difference.
Here's an interesting fact for you about Ben Loughlin. His career outside cricket was as a carpenter.
I'm thinking of something clever to say, but obviously he can shape his innings pretty well. It's the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, he shouldn't have any problems about picking bats, should he?
True. Pretty good with the chisel, one imagines. No! Oh, not now. Big dive comes in. The last thing that any team wants any time, certainly not when 3 wickets down in the early stages, a run out. Luckily, it didn't hit the stumps, the throw.
Yeah, that was a horrible mix-up, wasn't it? In the end, I think had there been a direct hit, that would have been curtains. Or to coin a Ben Loughlin expression, the timber would have been disturbed.
Well, Laurie might have done some stuff with it later with the spare timber. Last ball of the over. Oh, that's handsomely hit over extra cover. Couple of bounces, that'll be a fog maximum boundary. Well done. Good end to the over for the Kabul team. 6 gone, 40 for 3.
Mervez Ashraf to continue from the pavilion end. Mervez, who captained the Ammo Sharks in the Shipagiza Cricket League in September 2017. Keeper up to the stumps now. Oh, that's cute. Really cute from Laurie Evans. 1 bounce for a fog 4.
Just shows what confidence can do. Never an easy shot to execute. The ball heading towards the face, really. You've got to time that so well, and he did. Another fog maximum boundary. There we go. I suppose he got inside the line pretty quickly.
Don't forget that on www.myteam11.com you can create your own fantasy team, test your skills, and win big with real cash.
Well, you don't need me to tell you this, but I'd love to have Laurie Evans in my 11.
Clever from Mervez Ashraf. We saw in the last over when he picked up the wicket of Colin Ingram, having been hit for a boundary. He opted for the slower ball. He's done it again there, and he's foxed Laurie Evans.
Well, the slower deliveries really work when you can whip it up to maybe 140 or so and then coming down to about 115. I don't think Ashraf's that quick, but obviously he's very deceptive.
Yes, as Alistair was saying a little earlier, Alistair Campbell, he has been very much a mainstay of this Afghanistan side for many years. Let's have a look at Laurie Evans' innings from last night, his half-century, which saw his side, Kabul, to a pretty unlikely victory, it has to be said. They needed 75 off the last 6 overs, and in the end, they won with a bit to spare.
The most important thing, of course, was that Evans stayed right till the end, or you never know, that kind of a chase. 219, wow. Oh, what bowled again. Needs a new piece of timber, Carpenter. This one you might send to the workshop. So well played for yesterday, Laurie Evans, our player of the match, striking at nearly 200 for a winning cause. Fabulous. What a chase.
It's just a case of consolidation, really, for Kabul at this stage, you would say. 3 wickets down already. Still plenty of time to go.
No worry so far for the Balkh team. They've started out really well. Mohammad Nabi, once again, opening with his off-spinners was the revelation. Of course, plenty of experience for the skipper. But still, this is, I'm not saying a different league. He's played very high-grade cricket, but different pressures and I suppose some nerves playing your first game.
Oh, a bit of whippage over the onside. Couple of runs for Javed Ahmadi. The end of the over. 47 for 3. Replace all divots.
Bowling change right on one.
Confirmation of Kabul's success last night. And what a success it was. They looked absolutely gone for all money until Laurie Evans got in on the act. And it has to be said, he really took a toll of Sikandar Raza at the back end of that innings, and that was a crucial turning point.
How well did Raza bat, though? Fabulous 78. Oh, low full toss, and perhaps it's just as well that Laurie Evans didn't quite catch it better because it was long off.
Ravi Bopara into the attack from the Sharjah club end. He was actually named Player of the Series in the first edition of the Pakistan Super League, which was here in the UAE in 2016. That tournament included 9 matches here in Sharjah. He got 329 runs and 11 wickets in that tournament for Karachi Kings. That's over backward point for 4. Little bit of width offered by Bopara, and Ahmadi taking full advantage.
Yeah, Bopara's not quick enough to trouble somebody like an informed Laurie Evans. Needs to get his line right. There you go, short, banged in, and altogether too easy. Played that deliberately, of course, did Laurie Evans. Over backward point. Beg your pardon, Javed Ahmadi. What was I thinking? Not the carpenter.
Ravi Bopara, he really has got vast experience in this form of the game. Do you know, Charo, he's one of only 10 players in history to play 300 matches in this format.
How strange you mentioned that, because I was about to say, wow, look at the experience. They're 301st now, which is incredible. Just the width and the depth of experience. I must say, his bowling may not have the same zing if he ever did, but he's still a very efficient, would you call him an all-rounder?
Yeah, absolutely. And he could be very effective in this tournament on these sorts of surfaces if they offer some purchase for his cutters.
So 54 so far. Brian to my right, and of course, my friend Hamid Hassan to my left, who's been whispering all sorts of details about the Afghanistan players, being a former fast bowler and captain himself. Yeah, but I've got to say this again, and perhaps a few more times as we go along. What a big development move for Afghanistan cricket, because yes, they've done well internationally. They've got full ICC test status now, although mind you, the long form game still may escape some of them, but just to get their own league going, terrific for the youngsters.
55 for 3, 8 overs gone. Struggle for Kabul so far. They've got 40 in the power play. Certainly this isn't the same surface that we saw last night when they topped 200. Mohamed Nabi ringing the changes. Pervez Ashraf out of the attack. And Gulbuddin Naib, vastly experienced himself, coming on from the pavilion end.
He ran in pretty quickly, but was that a slower one, or is that his stock delivery? Because it certainly held up in the air. And Ahmadi, of course, read it and played it a lot later. We'll see. Was it back of the hand? Yeah, he does bowl back of the hand.
You can mix it up very nicely. I mentioned vastly experienced. You know, he's only 27 years of age, but he's one of the few remaining players who took part in that World Cricket League Division 5 tournament in Jersey a decade ago, playing against the likes of Jersey, Japan, the Bahamas, Botswana, Singapore and Nepal. Just gives you an indication of the progress that Afghanistan cricket has made in a relatively short space of time.
You only have to look at the countries they've played over the years to figure out that they're playing better and better opposition. Of course, some famous wins earlier for Afghanistan, and the only thing that's really gone, I hesitate to say wrong in their progress, is the test match they played, the lone test, their first test against India in Bangalore in June. But just like they have developed in the short form game, I'm sure they will in the long form.
Worked away by Evans. Maybe there should have been two there. In the end, they opted just for the single.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler in the evening, and you know, if heat sometimes does you in, and you don't take the first run quickly enough, then the second's almost never on. But it almost looked like they weren't really keen on the second, where they ran the first. And since the runs are not coming quickly enough, I think they were perhaps better advised to run the first one quickly.
Darwish Razuli at backward point.
Must also mention there was the odd catch has been missed. The odd catch has been missed today, perhaps one yesterday. But in the main, the fielding has been very committed. They're not afraid to dive, and we all know that playing conditions for those coming up the ranks are not ideal in the subcontinent. Many sort of loose gravel grounds. Oh, just as I say that, a fumble. This time they will get the two.
Pervez Ashraf, end of the over, 9 gone, 61 for 3. Six bowlers used so far, and an indication of the variety on offer for Balkh captain Mohamed Nabi. Here's Pervez Ashraf, who misfielded on the boundary from the last ball of that previous over.
It did make it look like something or the other was soapy, but you just didn't get down far enough, did you, Ashraf? Oh, straight behind the bowler. Is that our... Yes, it is our first fog maximum 6. And of course, it had to come from the very efficient blade of Laurie Evans.
Well, it was interesting to hear his interview post-match last night with you, Charu, when he was talking about his advice to the batsman at the other end, and he said, take a couple of balls to get yourself in, but also look to go straight. And he followed his own advice there to the letter.
Well, I'm glad you were listening, because I'd kind of forgotten what he said. So many other things to think about. But it's been a sedate start for him today. considering the situation, 3 quick wickets down, and one can understand. I'm quite sure that he will race along for a much better strike rate as he goes on. Slow one by Bopara.
Interesting as well with Ravi Bopara. Do you know he's got the best bowling figures in the history of the Pakistan Super League, 3 editions. It was on this ground in 2016 when he took 6 for 16. It's scarcely believable, those figures. Is it 6 for 16 in 4 overs for the Karachi Kings against Lahore?
Well, this is really cheap one. It was 2018, so maybe 6 for 18. Who knows? Very cleverly done by Ahmadi.
Again, though, Bopara taking the pace off the ball, bowling those little cutters. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, not only in the rest of this innings, but also in the second innings of this match as well.
For a man who's played 300 and, well, his 301st match now, the economy of under 8, we'll take that every day. It's about 28, 30 runs or so.
Lachlan at extra cover.
Yeah, we're about to get at the halfway stage, and I'm daring to suggest here that if they have wickets in hand with the kind of explosion, acceleration that we've seen from Laurie Evans, they could get to maybe 160, 70 even.
Single off the last ball of the over. Evans will keep strike. 10 overs gone, 70 for 3.
So Kabul losing 3 wickets in the first 6 overs, and after that, of course, they have done well, stitching a partnership here, 70 for 3, 27 dot deliveries that came in the early part of the innings, 1-6-9-4 so far. So settling this pair, and that was important for Kabul. At least like to garner around 160, 170 on this kind of track. Give something to the bowlers. Going to be Gulbuddin Naib once again. And with me in the comm box is another fast bowler, Hamid. Good evening.
Good evening, Ajay. Thank you. 70 for 3 after 10 overs. It's not a bad start because the wicket is not similar as yesterday. It's a little bit difficult. Ball is not coming properly on the bat. This is a wide delivery. Until Lorians is batting on the track, so they should have to aware of Evans because he's a player. He can deliver anytime. And he scored yesterday a brilliant knock of 79, and he doesn't matter if he's 3 out or 2 out, he will play his own batting. That's good change of pace from Gulbuddin, and only 1 runs on onside.
Yeah, he's been the man in form, really batted beautifully yesterday, and makes a big difference. He's assessed the wicket, he knows the conditions out here. So really, I think they like to convert the start once again into a big score. Exactly what he did yesterday, Hamid. What a treat it was to watch him bat. Man of the match yesterday. Oh, good delivery. Just fishing at that one.
The most important thing in cricket, Ajay, you also know partnership. Partnership is the only thing you can build pressure on the team. This partnership is slowly building, and you can see score is not too bad. If they got a wicket in hands, maybe they can get the score above 150. Maybe 150, 160 will be fair enough on this wicket. It's a wide delivery. If you see both teams, they're only using 1 spinner, and he's the captain. Would you believe that?
Yeah, right, and we saw with Nangarhar the kind of variety they had in the bowling. Makes a big difference, isn't it? Especially in this surface. We saw Mohammad Nabi bowling the first over, getting a bit of turn as well. Exactly what Alistair and I were discussing, that there is something on this surface for the spinners. You're right, they relied after that on the seamers.
But seamers are doing actually right, and they're hitting the deck hard, and they're not giving any room to the batsman. And Javed will be looking for the boundary because he's a batsman. If you miss few dot balls, and he will try to hit you on the cover. This is his favorite area. And Gulbadin that's what I was talking, and he got it out.
That, what do you call commentators curse? Playing straight into the hand of the fielder out there, trying to drive it, not able to keep it down. Probably wanted to get the elevation right, Ahmadi. But in the process, he's got to walk back. Kabul losing the 4th wicket. I'm striking, just coming out of the crease. It was a slow delivery as well. And he's delighted. He's a very decent all-rounder. That's the 4th wicket falling. Ahmadi out for 21. It's 73 for 4.
As I mentioned before, Javed is a player like if you ball him and stuck him around for 3-4 deliveries, he will try to hit you through the cover. Shahidullah is the next batsman, and he's one of the best youngsters in the team. As an emergent player, he scored a lot of runs in domestic and last Shpagiza in Afghanistan, Kabul. And he's a player, he can hit and he can rotate the strike.
Yeah, almost the same way as Colin Ingram got out, because there was also slow delivery. The ball, we mentioned, just gripping the surface. Got to be very careful driving of the front foot. Taking the first one hard, running back for the second. That's good running. Showing the intensity in running on that occasion. Opening his account as well. Shahidullah with those couple of runs. Even if you're not getting those fours or those big shots, always important to rotate the strike, run the first one hard.
Yeah, correct. I agree with you. On this kind of surface, you have to rotate the strike. And as much as you can, you run half too fast and try to get 2 runs if it's possible. And I think Nabi is also maybe saying to his bowler that do some varieties and variations. That's why Gulbadin is applying every after single deliveries. And most of them.
That's the end of the over as well, 76 for 4.
Go ahead and change, right arm round the stumps. Ignore. This shot made a record.
8 runs per over, 148. But they were looking at something in the region of 160, 170. That's going to be important. The captain coming back, Mohammad Nabi. Oh, that's a good delivery, getting a bit of turn as well. And the finger is up. The umpire, the man who matters, was impressed. Striking in his 3rd over once again. As the 2nd wicket for Mohammad Nabi.
You beauty, Nabi, very well bowled. Tossed it up. Batsman just missed the line and there's no chance of saving. So he's back to the pavilion for 2 runs and 74 for 5.
It's a classical delivery, getting rid of turn, pitching right on the mat as well. He's always in trouble, missing the line completely. Shahidullah disappointed. Out pretty early, out for 3 of 3 deliveries, 76 for 5 now.
come, who are 5 to come.
So the captain walks in. There's going to be captain to captain, Rashid Khan. Another very handy customer with the bat as well. Just see that strike rate. That's important. Almost 138. Hasn't got a 50, but he's got very useful runs in almost all the formats. Knows a thing or two about Mohammad Nabi, and straight away he's off the mark as well.
I think they have to go both batsmen till 15-16 overs because they're already 5 down, and if they are taking chances, maybe it will be very difficult to get 130 runs or 40 runs. So they have to build a partnership, and Evans is there. He's the man, he can hit the ball, and because they have no spinners, and a wicket is not, as I said before, as yesterday, it's a little bit difficult for the batsman to get on it on the time. So they have to put some good target because Rashid got a very good spinners along with him.
Yeah, what I like is the way he's tossing the ball at as well, Mohammad Nabi. That shows the confidence. You know, he's mixing his pace, his experience, he's flighting the ball, he's getting a bit of turn, giving a lot of revs. That's once again a very good effort by the captain himself.
Of course, no doubt, Nabi is a player. His journey is from beginning when Afghanistan divisions get started, and he's the only one player. He almost play all the ODI matches. Have a lot of experience behind him. 75 for 5 after 12 over.
Losing the toss, batting first, Kabul. Well, didn't have a great start. They've lost early wickets. Luke Ronchi out for 11. Hazratullah for 7. Ahmadi got a start out for 21. It will depend on Evans. He's got on 23 or 26. And of course, the captain Rashid alongside him. Looks a very different wicket, Ahmed, if you see the game that was played yesterday, match number 1. That's the reason on this kind of surface, probably even 160, 170 should be a decent score.
Yeah, it's will be very good score because if you see the batsmen, they are struggling a bit, and bowlers are using their pace very well. Like variation is the most important thing right now because they don't have any spinners. Only Nabi is the main spinner in the team, and rest of the other bowlers, they're doing their good job, mixing their pace.
I mean, you played a lot for Afghanistan. Now, in such a scenario, when you picked up early wickets, you've done well as a side. As a bowler, what's your thinking? What's the thing that's going in your mind?
On wicket like this, I always try to mix my line and length and the variations because we played a lot of matches in Sharjah, and this is a wicket like you cannot take any chances on it because you have to mix your line and length, especially in T20. And right now, the Balkh team is doing so well.
Yeah, that's important because exactly what you got to do is not be predictable as a bowler. You got to bowl those Yorker lengths, those variations, those slow deliveries. We've seen the seamers pick up a few wickets so far in this innings with that slower stuff. Again, bowling that fuller delivery. Good thinking, mixing his pace as well, his length as well.
Yeah, he's a very good line and length, and he got a lot of experience. One of the best bowler in Big Bash League in Australia. He's delivering his performance and experience here, and he's mixing his line in length. The variations he got, the best one, especially the change of pace. It's very difficult to judge. Rashid is struggling, and he's tried to get a single, but he can't make it. And
And isn't giving much room to Rashid Khan. Probably that's what he's looking for. He's not giving much room to him to free his arms. Exactly what Rashid is looking. This time, of course, played really nicely. As I mentioned, not giving much room. That's the end of the over as well. 81 for 5.
One for 5, 13 overs, and they're struggling here, Kabul. They're going to need to try and get something done in these last few overs, but it's not looking good at this stage. Try and get to at least forcing the opposition to score, run a ball. That should be the aim. Nicely flicked away. There's a man out there. So just be the single, but they've been kept under constant pressure, you'd have to say. The bowling's been good. Mohammad Nabi has led from the front, got the ball in the right area, and it's just never been easy for the Kabul side to get any momentum, to build any partnerships. And just when they look like get going, they seem to lose a wicket. Having said that, Laurie Evans is still there. And as long as he's still there, there's still an opportunity to build a score. Crashed away on the leg, on the offside square. And a welcome boundary moves him on to 28.
He's on fire and he's in such a good form. That's what they're looking for. At least if they get a runs on every single ball, they will rotate the strike. Maybe they can get some good runs. As much as they miss the dot balls, it will be very difficult and pressure will be on a Kabul Zwanan team. And some of them have to take a risk to hit the ball. Right now they have to go like for another 3 overs to rotate the strike and just wait for the bad deliveries. And wicket is not that much as yesterday, we mentioned before. It's not coming properly on the bat and you cannot take any risk. The way Evans is batting, he's doing so well because he's batting with a straight bat. So he's not taking any chances or any cross shot. He just wait for the bad deliveries.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's exactly what they've got to do. Just make sure that they keep rotating the strike, and whenever they get the opportunity to hit the boundary, make sure that they take full toll. They cannot afford to lose another wicket, because then it becomes a very difficult task to get it up to that 130, 140 mark. If these two stay there, then at least with 3 overs to go, they can maybe cut loose and try and find a few more boundaries. But at 5 down, it's a fine balancing act. Eight off the over so far, so that's a good return. 1 ball remaining, and if they can at least get a single, maybe a bit more, that's exactly the sort of over they would want from here on in. If they can get a boundary, maybe a couple, and score off the rest, that's exactly what's required at this stage. Another slow ball, another change of pace, another polite inquiry. Not out, 14 overs bowled, 89 for 5. One of them has gone for more than 8 to the over, and that's how well the Balkh Legends side have bowled. Wickets at crucial intervals as well. Flays it away through the offside, and gets there so quickly they're not able to come back for 2. Gulbadin Naib has taken 1 wicket, conceded 13 thus far in his spell. you know him pretty well. What's he going to be trying or try to do in this particular situation, Hamid?
Gulbuddin, right now, he's using his skills. The most important thing is he's mixing the ball, like his variations, he's changing the pace. Oh, that's a bad delivery. You cannot bowl here to Rashid. He will pick you up for the boundary easy. That's a maximum 4 runs.
Yeah, not a great delivery. The idea was right, change of pace, try to bowl it up the back of the hand. But it was ill-directed, and all he had to do, Rashid Khan, was get a bit of bat on it and help it up and over the man at short fine leg. Very wayward, down the leg side, and got its just rewards.
Rashid is doing so well, rotating the strike, and they have to keep like this for another 2 overs maybe. They can try after 16 overs and target maybe 1 over. At least they need a big over to get a target around 150 or 150 plus. But the bowling of Balkh's team is too good, and they're mixing their pace and they're using a proper line and length. They're not giving any width to the batsman. That's a 1 runs. It's a long gone.
He's always fancied himself as a bit of a batsman, Rashid Khan, and gets the opportunity in this tournament to bat a little higher up the order. And we saw glimpses of that yesterday evening. Came in, played a swashbuckling little cameo, and well, today a little more circumspect, but showing glimpses of what he's capable of doing.
I will tell you something about Rashid. When he was playing club cricket, he was an opener batsman. He wasn't a bowler. Maybe you don't know that. So right now he's a legend, and everybody knows him as a bowler, but he used to a batsman in early stages, like when he used to play at club cricket.
There we go. I bet you many of our viewers out there didn't know that as well, but you can definitely see that he knows exactly how to hold a bat the right way around and knows what he's doing out there. Nine off the over, 15 bowled, 98 for 5.
Eight and over from here gets Kabul up to 138. I reckon they'd want to be closer to 150. And that's not going to be an easy proposition with 5 overs to go, particularly when this man's about to come into the attack. Outstanding stuff from him. Look at that, 3 overs, 2 for 15. And bear in mind that part of that was during the power play.
Well, on an average, Brian, off-spinners are treated very badly in white ball cricket by the right-handers. They're tonked all over the place. It's very difficult for them to keep runs down. So all things considered, Mohammad Nabi has been fabulous today.
Appeal for a catch. My initial thought was maybe they're shouting for a catch just to try and deflect the view away from maybe calling a leg side wide, but not out, says the umpire, and no wide given.
Well, the keeper went halfway down the pitch after taking the catch. I mean, it's no indication of it being fair, but just the interest levels there.
It actually looks as though it's come off the wrist. Yes, it's come off the wrist. Nabi absolutely convinced.
Oh, terrific dive by the veteran. Still a few inches short. Rashid lets him know what he thinks about that effort.
Brings up the 100. Mohamed Nabi doing his impression of Superman, but you can even see his cape at the back of his trousers there.
Okay, is this a bird? Is this a plane? No, it's Nabi.
But look at this, he's giving absolutely nothing away in this over once more. This has been a terrific spell of bowling from the captain, leading from the front. Just showing his skills really, because Alistair Campbell was talking about his bowling in various leagues around the world. I've seen him open the bowling. There's another look at that dive in Australia for the Melbourne Renegades, again in the power play, and basically he just ends up bowling arm balls there. Here he's really trying to give the ball a rip on a much more responsive surface, of course. That should be a couple. But just 5 runs off that over from Mohamed Nabi. 103 for 5. It's a nice mix, that attack, isn't it? Mohamed Nabi, he's bowled out now with his 4 overs, but they've got Aftab Alam, Movies Ashraf, the veteran, Ben Lachlan, tons of experience there, and Ravi Bopara with his little cutters and medium pacers, Gulbuddin Naib, the all-rounder. I suppose if you're going to be critical, you'd say, well, they could do with maybe a wrist spinner.
Yeah, they're certainly in favour, aren't they? Or the flavour of modern day cricket wrist spinners. Some of them doing really well. Rashid Khan, an example. But Mohamed Nabi, 200 wickets in 181st match. Very good economy rate, below 7. We'll take that any day. Another terrific performance today. So Aftab. And will that carry the hand? No, no fielder there. Just above extra cover inside the circle. So that's very well struck indeed. And I was wondering, I'd said about 6 overs ago or so, Brian, that Laurie Evans will probably climb in to a much better strike rate, but he's taking 6 overs to get going again, and he's still only about 100 though. Strike rate, that is.
Not easy conditions these though, complete contrast to last night with the ball holding in the surface. He finds that fog boundary over the offside. Good response from Aftab Alam, terrific Yorker.
Yeah, I was about to mention that it's also the lengths that the bowlers have bowled. They haven't given too many boundary or obvious boundary balls, just making it that much more difficult. And after losing those 3 early wickets, there's no doubt that the Kabul team just sat back a bit and said, well, let's not lose too many wickets here. But the bowling, the length particularly, has been very impressive. And also remember saying that Rashid will probably have to play a big hand with the bat. So there we go. He's certainly, his skills with the bat have been called upon by his team.
Just look at those bowlers, though. You were talking about the lengths they bowled. So much experience in that lineup. Carved square for 4. Rashid Khan getting in on the act with a fog boundary.
I wonder if he opened the face of the blade a bit, or whether he caught the outside half, but it sped to the boundary. Can't blame the bowler, once again very full, and if that had gone straight ahead, probably only for a single. It went square for a wonderful boundary, a fog maximum 4.
The man out on the point boundary only had about 5 or 10 metres to make to his left, but that ball raced away. So is this the start of a little bit of momentum finally for Kabul?
It's about time, isn't it? Well, they've got 5 wickets in hand. These two, of course, must carry on for the next 2 or 3 overs. I wonder when they'll explode. Now, it may go straight to hand, but it does go over the boundary line. That's a very welcome fog, maximum 6. Rashid Khan, again, great bat speed.
That was terrific, wasn't it? He actually cleared one of the tallest players in the side down on the third-man boundary, Ben Lachman, opening the face of the bat as he slashed hard, deliberately hitting the ball up. Goodness me, that hit the boundary board really hard. Catch it, thought Aftab Alam, but Lachlan just needed a step ladder.
In fact, Aftab had his hands cupped, saying, I mean, just getting into the plan there. Take the catch. Wasn't to be.
End of the over, 15 from it, 118 for 5. It's now the best partnership of the innings thus far, and much needed too. When they came together, Kabul were really in a whole heap of trouble, and Rashid Khan hit that 6 in the previous over, and he thought he'd got a boundary off the last ball as well, a metre either side of the fielder at mid-wicket, and he would have got it.
He was lining it up with his left hand, saying, well, just a little more. But from what I remember, we saw the batting lineup a short while back, and Musa yesterday hit a couple of big sixes and he got run out, sadly. And that left Laurie Evans with a lot more to do, but he's still to come. Oh, here's another big one. And it's onto the tent. Wow. The roof of the stadium. The ball does come down, but that's a fabulous fog, maximum 6.
One of the bigger sixes I've seen here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. I remember Mohammed Nabi doing that against Australia a few years ago, hitting it onto those tents over the stands at that far end. That would be 6 on pretty much any ground in the world.
Yeah, that cloth has to be pretty strong to withstand this onslaught. What a great extension. Down on one knee, and the slash comes in as well. Oh, again sped to the boundary, so they are powering it on now.
50 partnership in just 37 balls. Look at the wrist work there from Laurie Evans to get the ball backward as square. It's his half-century too from 42 balls. Back-to-back half-centuries for Evans. Really clever batting. Almost like a hockey shot, that.
Yeah, couldn't time this one. So back-to-back 50s. Of course, the strike rate very different today. Almost 200 yesterday during the chase. And it just shows there's a different kind of pressure when you're batting first. You don't want to throw your wicket away. When you're chasing, I suppose, you have no choice but to keep going hard at a high score. A little easier now on Rashid, because if he just looks for the single and gets Laurie Evans on strike, it might serve the purpose, but maybe they're running short on time and both will swing.
Some tense faces there in the Kabul dressing room. Oh, goodness me, Laurie Evans. That is out of the stadium. There's some accommodation blocks under that stand, and if anyone's gone to bed early, they'll be woken up by that fog, maximum 6. New balls, please.
6-4-1-1-6. Laurie Evans is showing his caliber. Picked the length up very quickly, threw his bat at it. And the carpenter ensures he has a good stick, and hasn't served him well. Middle of the bat. Oh, he enjoyed that. Knew it was going to go over the roof and into, as you say, well, there's some housing there. Wake up.
We've got to find a ball now that is roughly 18 overs old, or looks 18 overs old, but after some punishment from Laurie Evans, Any ball would look like the Dogs had it.
Well, this is terrific. The acceleration that we were waiting for. Of course, they only have about 2 overs or so to go. But that could produce... Oh, there it is. Somebody go fetch it. At your own peril, of course.
Well spotted by our cameraman. Yes, that's the outdoor nets over there as well. Luckily, no one was practicing over there at the moment.
Rude interruption. And here we go. Last ball of this over. Oh, and there we go. Another ball deposited outside the stadium. This is bigger still. Or perhaps the same spot. Well, the best way to try and find a ball is hit another one in the same direction. 18 gone, 142 for 5.
Successful bowler in the history of the Australian Big Bash League, leading wicket taker there. And how many times he's come up against a player like Laurie Evans, though. 24 runs off that last over.
And so here we are, the big sixes. Is that the last one? Didn't you look at it? Knew exactly where it was going. Well, here's a lesson, keeping your head down.
Lachlan persisting with that fullish length, opting not to try and bowl the cutters into the surface and paying the penalty.
So 12 balls to go, and I suspect we're looking at 170 or so, maybe even 175. Rashid will do well to just... No, I was about to say take the single, forget about it. He goes for a big fog maximum himself, clubs it over to the left, to the right or long on.
Oh, this is terrific stuff, isn't it? It really is. Rashid Khan and Laurie Evans, they've now added 72 in 42 balls, and they really have got their foot on the floor. Just flat batting it over wide long on, Rashid Khan, and then slashes it over extra cover for 4 more. Another fog maximum. This is brutal. The 150's up now, and the last 50's come in no time at all.
Ravi Bopara was sent for a few runs earlier, but I don't think he was prepared for this. So one wide of long on, and the other thrashed into the cover region. Was I suggesting that maybe he should take a single and give Laurie Evans the strike? Forget about it.
Look at that, the last 50 coming up in just 17 balls. It's been brutal.
So, excuse me, what about the pitch then? We were talking about, oh, slow and dodgy and tricky. Maybe not. Oh, this could be the biggest one of the night. Rashid, well over the roof of the stadium. That's on the road. And this is some magnificent hitting. Laurie Evans, you can do it. I can do it bigger and better.
Just imagine driving along University Road there outside the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and you're minding your own business. Maybe you've got the car radio on, and all of a sudden there's a white missile that comes your way.
Ravi Bopara, I hope he's admiring that. You're wondering, what do I do next? Where do I bowl? What's going on here? I wasn't particularly bad in my previous overs, but 6-4, 6 first 3 deliveries, all to Rashid.
These two now, 82 they've added in 44 balls.
Did I say something about 170? Recalibrate. Where does he bowl? Full and straight. No, it's again a length ball, and again a fog maximum 6. How about that? 6-4, 6-6. Rashid Khan mentioned may have to contribute with the bat today. He heard me. This is fabulous.
Well, Ravi Bopara got that one all wrong. Length, medium pace, And at this stage of the innings, that's going to go the distance. Well caught in the dressing room as well. Oh, goodness me, that's another 6. 4 sixes in 5 balls. Little pat of the chest from Rashid Khan. And that's his half century in just 23 deliveries. What an astonishing turnabound.
Well, this is only the start of the tournament, day 2, but that is the quickest 50 here in the Gul Bahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Fogg. That's 3 Fogg maximum 6s in a row, consecutive by Rashid Khan. Such an exhibition. Ravi Bopara can only smile ruefully and say, well, what do I do next? Ball full and straight, Ravi.
And Rashid Khan misses out. 28 off that over, 170 for 5. In the last 2 overs. We've gone 6-4, 1-1, 6-6, 6-4, 6-6-6, and then a dot ball. Astonishing, and against 2 of the most experienced bowlers in 2020 cricket, Ben Laughlin and Ravi Bopara.
They've run into batsmen in form, so it's the Evans and Khan show here in Sharjah. And if Rashid could get 28 off the last one in this final over, I'm sure Laurie Evans is looking to deposit a few more balls on the road outside the stadium. Not this time though. Will they take 2? Nah, let's get it in boundaries.
Aftab Alam, of course, was the death bowler for Afghanistan in the recent Asia Cup game against Pakistan. This is a recap of that brutal 6 that took Rashid Khan to his half century. He's the captain and he's leading from the front. Here's the front leg and looks to go over mid-wicket, doesn't time it. This is good bowling from Aftab Alam. I mentioned that he was the death bowler against Pakistan. Of course, he came off second best against Shoaib Malik, when Malik hit him for 4 and 6 in that last over, and he was reduced to tears. But that's the life of a death bowler, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he's done this very cleverly, the last 2 balls. He does have nice variety. Cross seam now. So we're going to see the short... I think he's double guessing himself now. What should I do here? But I thought we were... Oh, no, it's Evans who is cramping, we think.
Well, it is back-to-back games for Kabul. They played this time last night as well, of course. Bowled, and very well bowled indeed by Aftab Alam. So that's the end of the fun and games for this pair. 96 they added, Rashid Khan and Laurie Evans. Wonderful entertainment. A second half century in succession for Evans, who gets a pat from his captain as he walks off, but he's got to depart.
Well, our player of the match in match number 1, the opening match of the APL, finally goes playing inside the line. Maybe there was a hint of movement, maybe not, but very well bowled. We talked about him being a specialist death bowler, and he has certainly struck. That may account for a few runs towards the end that the team pulls it back. 64 from 47, 172 for 6.
Muslim Musa on strike. Charu Sharma mentioned that last night he played a very entertaining cameo before he was run out. 17 from 7 balls with 2 sixes. Let's have a look at why he's here.
Yeah, we'll get to see that wicket again, but I think by getting rid of Evans, they might just have, and of course the 3 singles, they might have pulled it back by at least 10 runs or 15. And I wonder how crucial that will eventually be for the chasing team.
That's off the splice. And it might be beneficial actually from a Kabul point of view, and indeed it is, because it allows them to come back for 2. If he'd timed that one, Rashid Khan would have gone straight to the field at long off. It may have restricted them to a single. So the good news as far as Kabul is concerned, Rashid's going to be on strike for the last ball.
Yeah, Rashid was very cross with himself. Hit his bat onto the pads a couple of times, saying a low full toss, I should have sent it over the boundary ropes. But the commitment for the 2, we can argue this is the last couple of balls, so most players would do that. But Musa's commitment to the 2, running to what was the danger in, was fantastic to see.
Last ball. A bit of a helicopter shot from Rashid Khan up towards long on, just the single. But some good momentum there for Kabul at the end of their innings. And they finished with 176 for 6, having been put into bat. And the captain, Rashid Khan, 56 not out from just 27 deliveries. But a very good last over as well, it has to be said, from Aftab Alam, just to ensure that Kabul, their momentum isn't total going into the second innings of this match.
Well, the last over was certainly very well bowled, but momentum-wise, we've got to presume here that the Kabul team will be very pleased with the last 3 or 4 overs. They accelerated quite wildly and ended up with 176, which could be a winning score here, all things considered, but we still have to see what the Balkh team has in terms of batting. Well played, skipper Rashid Khan, who is certainly in the all-rounder mould here in the short-form cricket. Scores some very useful runs, and of course he will come back and show his magic with his leg spin, of course the wrong ones as well. So Brian, 177 or so to win could be pretty challenging from what we've seen so far.
Yes, 73 runs from the last 4 overs, though. That's a tremendous recovery from Kabul, with Laurie Evans and Rashid Khan really pulling things round after, initially at least, it was a really strong bowling performance.
Just 4 extras. That goes on to show that it was a very disciplined bowling performance. Nabi was certainly the pick, but others bowled pretty well too. Just those 2 overs, really, the 18th and the 19th, going for 52, meant a big difference. So Lachlan and Bopara going for plenty in the end, but Nabi and Aftab very well bowled, Nabi particularly. And also Naib, 1 for 21, we'll take that any day. Ashraf, 1 for 12 from only 2, and of course we wonder whether he should have got another over or 2, but the reputation of Lachlan and Bopara perhaps gave them those overs. Still, very well done, Kabul, to climb up to 176 after looking pretty hopeless. They lost their first 3 for not very much.
Let's go down pitch side. Hamid Hassan is down there. Let's find out who he's got with him.
Along with us, Gulbadin Naib. Gulbadin, څه فکر کوي موږ خو پاس خبرې وکړلې چې په دې وکټ باندې 150 160 به ډېر رنز وي خو دلته 160 بیا ټارګټ شو. څه فکر کوي په دې وکټ باندې دا رنز تاسو کوئ شئ چې چیسې کوي؟
واقعا د وکټ ته چې ګوري او وروسته ډیو غورځي د ګراوند باندې نو دغه لږ مشکل و بولر ته ځکه بال نه ګریپ کېږي لاست نو هغوی ډېره ښه لوبه وکړه په اینډ کې نو واقعا سکور خو اخري 2-3 اوره دوی ښه ولوبه ول نو انشاءالله دومره مشکل به نه وي چې پلان سره لاړ سو او پلان سره لوبه وکړو نو انشاءالله ټارګټ دومره نه ده.
ستاسو بیټینګ لاین اپ هم ډېر ښه دی او څه پلان لرئ لکه څه فکر کوئ پرون هم چې کوم میچ ولیدلو په دویم میچ چې کوم شو هغه چیس 213 رنزه ډېر زیات رنزونه چې کابل ځوانانو پوره کړل ستاسو څه فکر دی په دې وکټ باندې آیا تاسو به وکړی شئ چې دغه وکټ د پرون نه نسبتا چینج ده ډفرنټ ده؟
وکټ پرون نه نسبت ډېره چینج ده ښه ده چې بیټسمین ټایم پې واخلي او واړه پارټنرشپ وسي نو دومره مشکل به نه وي لکه دا ټارګټ چیس کول نو انشاءالله خپل کوشش کوو څنګه زه خپل ټیم ته ګورم او بیټنګ اډر ته ګورم نو انشاءالله ریزلټ به ښه وي په اینډ کې.
ډېره زیاته مننه او ښه چانس تاسو ته غواړو. As we talk with Gulbadin and I ask him what will be the situation for you guys, because we mentioned the score will be around 150, 160 will be more than enough, but they score 176. So he told me it's not that more than enough runs, but we can chase it if we can stick around in the crease. And the only things they need a partnership to get by end of this tournament. To finish the innings with some good runs, and they need some couple of partnerships. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the translation, Hamid. Very kind of you. I heard the word mushkil a few times, just indicating that it may not be that easy for the chasing team, so Gulbuddin said. But also the nature of the pitch may be changing a bit as they go along, and perhaps there was an indication that it's getting easier to bat now later in the evening. So hopefully it'll work out for Balkh, but it's not going to be that easy. Oh, look at that. The last, 17, 18, 19. Magnificent.
Yeah, the last 4 overs, 73 runs coming in total, and Kabul getting a little bit of momentum right at the back end of their innings thanks to Rashid Khan and Laurie Evans, and so yeah, it may well be a tough chase. A lot depends on the dew, I think, but this is what Balkh legends need then to win their first game of the tournament. 177 runs at a rate of 8.85 runs per over. Are they going to get that victory, or are Kabul going to secure a second win in successive evenings? Well, we'll find out very shortly. Hope you can join us when play resumes in a few minutes' time.
Well, welcome back to the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and that's how it ended off for the Kabul Zwanan team. What an astonishing onslaught it was at the end from Messrs Rashid Khan and Laurie Evans. 64 of 47 for Laurie Evans, and Rashid Khan not out 56 of just 27 deliveries. They looked like they would get nowhere near the 176 they ended up on. Looked at one stage, they might be scraping 130, 140. Well, I tell you what, in the end, they've got a very, very competitive total. Laurie Evans, 64 he got, and was the backbone of the innings again. Came in at a very difficult situation and was able to play shots all around the ground, particularly at the back end of the innings. He played a few lusty blows and at all times was able to keep cool, calm and composed. And again, he's delivered for his team, the Kabul Zwanan. It's a picturesque sight here in the evening, the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and I tell you what, we're in for another thriller here, I reckon. Kabul have posted a very competitive total, and it's going to take some chasing from the Balkh legends. There is no doubt that they have the firepower. And Rashid Khan, well, how good was he? He's always fancied himself with bat in hand, and had the opportunity here tonight to play a really stunning innings for his team. He was cautious up front and then really opened his shoulders towards the end and was brutal at the back end of the innings. Ben Laughlin and Ravi Bopara bearing the brunt of some scintillating stroke play. They really did play superbly well, those two, and well, they've got a little more than they would have thought they would have got with 5 overs to go. Outstanding stuff, really. And they're in the pound seats, you'd have to say, from going 2 from 2. However, we know how good that Balkh Legends side looks on paper. Can they deliver in the heat of battle is the question. Well, there's a few pensive faces out there. They know that they're in for a really good hour and a half now, because the Balkh Legends are going to come out firing. They've got plenty in the tank insofar as talent is concerned. But Kabul, well, that man in picture, he's done it with the bat, and we all know what he can do with ball in hand. His 4 overs are going to be crucial in the outcome of this game, you'd have to say. Heard him speaking at the toss to Charu Sharma, and he said, well, he just really concentrates on economy, but the wickets take care of themselves, doesn't really focus on that. And that's a good way of approaching things. You're just concentrating on doing your job and making sure you're pegging back the batsman, and if the batsman becomes frustrated, that's when you're in the pound seats. This was the highlights from the innings. That was the first man to go, Zazai. And Mohammad Nabi, he bowled really well up front. Big Rocky trying to heave one out of the stadium. Kept a bit low. Colin Ingram came to the crease and looked very assured for the short while he was there. But they were very good, you'd have to say. The Balkh Legends, that was the one over the top from Colin Ingram, and then very next delivery, change of pace from Merwais, and all he could do was hit it to the man at cover, Gulbadin Naib. And this is when there was that little bit of improvisation. There was a nice placement of deliveries, but I tell you what, it didn't look at any stage that they would get to this 176.
Absolutely, Leicester, they lost wickets. This was another wicket for the captain. Mohammad Nabi was striking, he was bowling well. That time things were looking really bleak, but then it was that partnership. You mentioned about that Rashid Khan along with Evans, the way they batted, absolutely matching stroke for stroke. Some lovely hitting, some lovely striking, and clean. You know, but they really took the bowling apart. They're picking the right deliveries. And the last 4 overs, they managed 73 runs, so that really made the difference. And that's the reason they got to the score of 176 for 6 in the process, getting a half century as well. And to see those shots, some big hitting, some lusty hitting coming from the meat of the blade, really didn't have any answers as far as the bowlers were concerned. It was absolutely fantastic to watch. The last 4 overs very productive. Rashid as well, the captain, getting a half century, and a very good half century. In the end, of course, getting a wicket, but that was very late in the day in that innings. And now they have runs on the board. 2 wickets for the captain, Mohammad Nabi. Aftab bowled really well. 2 for 36 for him as well. 1 for Ashraf and 1 for Gulbadin Naib. Ravi Bopara was really expensive, along with Ashraf. So they're all set in a huddle, just the captain having a word, just telling his boys exactly how to go about it. Remember, they won match number 1 yesterday, the first game of this Afghanistan Premier League. So this was a good start for the Kabul side, and today again they have runs on the board. At one stage, as Alistair was mentioning, it was looking probably they'll just manage 140, 145, but they have reached a decent score. This is going to be up to the Balkh, how they bat out here. They have the batting depth, but the big thing is can they perform in the middle? For the Empires walking in along with the opening batsmen and everybody here who've waited patiently. It's a great atmosphere at the Sharjah cricket ground. Solid readiness now for the second innings of this match. Remember, Balkh playing the first game, the second game of the evening, and Munro, the opening batsman out there, and he's again a good striker, least hitter of a cricket ball.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes about working his bowlers here tonight. Rashid Khan, we know that he likes to bring himself on later in the innings to really put the pressure on when they're needing to score quick runs at the back end. Where will he be bowling himself today? Where will he be forced to bowl himself if they do get off to a good start and they desperately need to take a wicket? Colin Munro, he's a regular on the circuit and a pretty good player as well. 188 games, plenty of experience for him. And they'll need all of that tonight if they're going to chase down this score. Usman Ghani is going to be his opening partner. 24th match for him today. Strike rate just under 110, best of 74 not out. So those indicate that he's a more circumspect batsman, takes a more cautious approach. And you have to say, chasing 170, he's going to have to up that career strike rate a wee bit. Wayne Parnell is also one of those guys that's been around the circuit, played in plenty of teams and plenty of conditions. 182 wickets in as many games, and he'll need to be on song here. He wasn't quite at his best in the previous game, maybe a little rusty, but he'll have got to grips with conditions now, and he'll be on song, you'd have to think, in the second game.
Starting over the slip here, Wayne Parnell, as you mentioned yesterday, a bit rusty, but surely back-to-back games, never easy. It's all in readiness. That's exactly what the umpire is telling the batsman. Plays the call. So the first ball of this innings now.
Down the leg side, leg buys. That's a bonus start. Just as I was talking up Wayne Parnell, he's come up and, well, very first delivery was very much a loosener. Down the leg side, clips the pad, and freebie runs.
Yeah, freebie runs, but it's a fork boundary. That's exactly what Balkh want. Just hurting down the pad line, not getting any bat to it. Tough for the keeper as well, trying his best, but in vain. That angle will always help a left-hand batsman. Colin Munro, edging that one. Opportunity missed. That could be very costly.
Now that's more like the Wayne Parnell we've come to know and love. Right on the money, a bit of swing as well. And Colin Ingram, he doesn't normally drop those. Straight in and straight out.
Excellent piece of bowling. Rectifying his line out there. Oh, that should have been taken. Straightforward chance. At a decent height as well. Missing that one. As a bowler, as a fast bowler, you're running in, bending your back. You're never happy. That should have been an early wicket, and he knows that. Missed opportunity.
No, down the leg side, so follows it up with another ordinary delivery. That's a huge let-off. Colin Munro can be so destructive. And you want to take every opportunity that he gives. Interesting to see how he makes them pay here tonight. Colin Munro would normally take those with his eyes closed. It seemed to take an age to get there, all the time in the world to sight it and get in a good position, and just wasn't able to get it into the palm of the hands. Hit high up on the hands, near the wrist area, and bounced out.
That's much better. That will be a relief for the batsman. Could have been out without scoring Colin Munro, but off the mark now. Everything was very well set up. He had a slip in place, the right line, rectified his line after that leg by 4. Really the last thing the bowler wants. A missed opportunity of a man who can really strike well. He's a clean striker. Having a word with his partner here, Ghani. The natural angle will take the ball away from the right-hander, Ghani. And still he's got a slip in place. A ring of fielders on the offside. A deep third man as well. Along with a deep square leg fielder. The fine leg fielder inside the circle. That's the reason. That's really well timed. Beautifully timed. There was a man in the deep, but he was a mere spectator on that occasion.
Yeah, he'll make you pay. Invariably, when you put down somebody, the floodgates do tend to open. It's not Colin Munro, it's Usman Ghani, but again it's leg side from Wayne Parnell. Just not able to get the radar right here in his opening over. He's done it once, created the opportunity, but other than that, he hasn't been on the money. Resorting to the short delivery on that occasion. That's an indication that he's just not able to find the line and length, pitching the ball up.
Yeah, everything has happened in this over. Really, dropped opportunity, 4 of the very first delivery, a leg by, then a very good shot as well from Usman Ghani. Just that kind of over so far. Once again, striking the pad, shuffle as well. And Empire, well, he's not impressed. Leg by the call. That's the end of the over as well. 11 for no loss.
Well, Wayne Parnell, a bit indifferent in that first over. Got one right, created the opportunity, not taken. But apart from that, he was a bit either side. This was the last delivery, pitched outside the leg stump, going down as well. Half-hearted appeal, you'd have to say. Maybe just to stop them running through for the single. But they did, and he conceded 11. So off to a fastest start. Oh, the Balkh legends. Farid Malik to bowl the second over.
Well, they have a few left-arm seamers in the ranks, and you rightly mentioned Farid Malik. Good opportunity for the young man. Shooting the new ball with the experienced campaigner, Wayne Parnell. He's played a lot of international cricket. Very humid, pretty warm as well. Farid Malik coming on from the pavilion end. Left arm fast medium. 20 wickets for him in his T20 career.
Down the wicket, swing and a miss. So the intent very clear. They want to make full use of this power play. The first 6 overs, field restrictions in place. So they're looking to find the boundary and try and get off to a fast start. You need to do that, chasing 177. You need to make sure you take full toll of those first few overs just to get the momentum going, the impetus going. Very difficult when you're behind the black ball and don't get off to a fast start. You're always playing catch up, and it always bring the fielding side into play.
Bit open stance as far as Usman Ghani is concerned. Likes to play on the onside. Once again, trying to carve it on the onside, missing it. Played a lovely shot in the opening over on the onside. Lovely flick shot. That was great timing. Exactly what he's trying again.
AJ, you've always prided yourself on being an amateur meteorologist. So tell me about the dew. We haven't seen it today. There's no towels out there. Yesterday it was apparent and the ball was very wet, very soapy. Today, well, or this evening, we haven't seen it. Why?
Yeah, you're right, because, you know, I was having a chat with the curator as well, and he did mention that some days there's a lot of dew, just depends. I think that's going to be the case throughout this tournament, throughout the Afghanistan Premier League this season. A couple of days without dew, few days with dew, it just depends on the luck. So really, it's not very consistent. That's exactly what he was mentioning. Not that every day you have dew. Yesterday, yes, you're right, Alistair, a lot of dew. And that was really tough going for any bowler, be it a spinner or a seamer. It's a different proposition altogether this evening, as far as dew is concerned.
Down the leg side again. Got to make sure you're in control of the extras. And already they've conceded a fair few. Wayne Parnell in the first over, leg byes, wides. There we have it, 5 leg byes, 2 wides. So 7 already, and we haven't even finished the second over.
That's where I think Farid Malik has got to be careful, because rather than pace, he's got to be bowling the right line and length. That's going to be important. He's not as tall as someone like Wayne Parnell, but he's got to be consistent, bowling within the stumps. That's going to be important. Rashid Khan knows it. He's having a chat with his bowler. Very interesting when the captain brings himself on. But what a knock he played, Rashid Khan. Really pleasing to the eye. Just chatting to one of the former Afghanistan players, he did mention that the first time he came for trials, Rashid Khan, he came as a batsman. And after a period of time, developed as a bowler. What a canny bowler he is.
Fair to say it was a good change then to decide to bowl leg spin. Been a decent over this from Farid Malik, just the 2 from it, wide and wide down the leg side. He's played a lot of shots, had Usman gone in this over and not really had reward for it. And, just kudos to Farid Malik. He's shown the variation that's required at this level and on this particular surface. Yeah, fairly happy at the moment, content. Very early on in the run chase, but so far so good. They lose a couple of wickets, that mood will change a wee bit. It's down the leg side, big appeal. Does that come off the pad? Yeah, it's off the pad. So end of 2, 13 for none. He's already had an impact on the game. What an innings that was at the end to get his team to 177. He's going to have plenty to do so far as the bowling is concerned, but he's also captain as well, so plenty on his plate, on his young shoulders. But he's got very broad shoulders. He's been through the mill, even at his very tender age. And so good at dealing with difficult situations, dealing with pressure. And he's a live wire in the field as well, always in the game.
Very focused, very committed as a cricketer, Rashid Khan. Love really seeing him play, the way he plays, gives his all, very competitive, exactly how to go about. He's played all over the world, a lot of experience behind him. As a leader, you also want to lead from the front. That's exactly what he's doing so far. His 4 overs are going to be very important, he knows that. But before that, having a piece of word with the bowler. Bowling his second over so far, Wayne Parnell. Decent first over. The slip fielder has been taken off. Loves playing that shot as Usman Khani, but he's missed on a few occasions.
He'd be better served at this stage, just trying to get bat on ball, calm down a wee bit. He's playing a shot of ball and not making much contact. There he goes again, trying to pull one away on the leg side. Change of pace from Wayne Parnell, not picked. Just needs to calm down a wee bit. Another short delivery, this time he lets it go. Looking at the umpire, somewhat hopefully that he might signal that it was overhead height, but that's not the case. It'll just be one for the over.
Yeah, what I like is he's changing his length at times. He's, of course, changing his line, but he's also changing his length. And exactly probably what Rashid is having a word with him almost regularly. Changing the field as well now. Rashid Khan going down there at long on. The third man fielder being brought inside the circle. To change the field now. Remember, two fielders outside the 30-yard circle during the power play. Oh, clipping it. That's a poor delivery. That's not a great delivery. Easy pickings there for Usman Ghani.
Yeah, no good from Wayne Parnell. He knows it, team knows it. It's just a leg stump half volley. All he had to do was get a bit of bat on it and it would race away for four. Particularly that fine leg is up in the circle as well. And Usman Ghani, who's not looked comfortable at all out there, well, that's the easiest way to get him feeling comfortable. Yeah, he knows it straight away.
That's much better, much better. Probably with that fielder moving on to long on, he wanted to bowl that joker delivery. On the middle stump, just drifted in his line. That's the reason he concedes that boundary of the fourth delivery of this over. Was really very unhappy with himself. He's got a man at long on. That's the captain Rashid Khan himself. The fine leg fielder, visible out there, is inside the circle.
Oh, he's got something on it as well. Leg side again from Wayne Parnell. And the same result, down to the fine leg boundary for four. End of 3, 21 for none. Well, they're making it easy for the batsman at the moment. The Kabul Zwanan, twice in the over. He was down the leg side. That one a bit more ungainly. he was overbalanced, but he still managed to get it away for four. Poor delivery, you'd have to say, from Wayne Parnell. Real mixed bag at the moment. Too many extras and too many indifferent deliveries.
Yeah, with his pace, I think he would be very happy because he was different down the leg side. One delivery, remember, bowling out to the line of off stump, beating the bat, inconsistent with his line, and that's the reason he was expensive, Alistair, as you mentioned in the last over. What the batsmen are also waiting for is pace on the ball.
Oh, he smashed that away. He's found the gap and will go away to the boundary for four. There was width offered, and he's not going to hold back when it comes to that particular stroke. Didn't get all of it. High up on the bat, but nonetheless in the gap and away for four.
And the good thing was played in the gap because it was in the air for some time. Playing on the rise, was in the air, just eluding the fielder at point, tried his best. But always difficult. The ball was really travelling. Thought he had his man there, Farid.
Down the leg side, flicked away straight to the fielder. You'll feel he's missed out there, Colin Munro. Couldn't have picked him out any better. It went so quickly, so hard to Munro. It is on the boundary. Didn't have to move.
Yeah, left and right would have been a certain boundary there. Very lucky there. Straight to the fielder, very nicely timed. He's very strong in that region. Square to the wicket, straight to the fielder, one bounce. Very lucky indeed, because that was really well timed. A few yards here and there would have been a certain fog boundary. Really, the way they are playing the seamers, Alistair, it's time for the spinners to come in. Just trying something different, change the pace. Not a great delivery.
Yeah, he's tried to come round the wicket, but the result is the same. Both Farid Malik and Wayne Parnell just cannot get the radar right, cannot string together a couple of decent deliveries. They've both bowled good ones, but they bowled their fair share of bad ones as well, and that's why the Balkh legends on 27 for none, and they haven't really had to work really hard. That's better. That's where they need to be. Back of a length, hitting the bat hard, just on that off stump. And when you decide to change your pace and mix it up, it means that you still need to get it in the right area. And whenever they've tried their change-ups, they haven't got the directions or the lengths right.
That was sensible from someone like Ghani as well, playing the full face of the bat, much better. As you're right, bowled within the stumps. Not give much room to the batsman to free his arms.
Balkh legends, their first game in the tournament. Mohammad Nabi, just to recap, winning the toss, electing to bowl first, and well, it was going swimmingly for a while until the last 4 overs, and two guys that have bowled so well in T20 cricket around the world, Ben Laughlin and Ravi Bopara, well, they got taken to the cleaners. 70 runs in the last 4 overs, would you believe it? And that means they're chasing a few more than they would have wanted. Too much width, that's a good effort, really is. Laurie Evans, I think it is, he's already played 2 Herculean innings, and he's starring in the field as well. End of 4, 29 for none.
Change.
7 of 9 for Munro, and Usman Ghani's at the bulk of the strike, 14 or 15, so 29 for none, going along pretty nicely. 177 the target set for them to chase, so they're going to make sure that they don't get too far behind the run rate, but as long as they got wickets in hand and they've got some strikers to come, they'll feel that this game is well in hand. Just got to be careful. You've got to plan ahead. Know that Rashid Khan has still got a bowl. You don't want to leave yourself having to score 9, 10 and over off this bloke, because it'll become very difficult. He's brought himself in early in this particular bowling effort. As we mentioned, so used to bowling at the back end. And he's going to come in and he's going to take a wicket straight away through the defences of Colin Munro. Everything he touches turns to gold at the moment. Rashid Khan can do nothing wrong in this particular game. Runs with willow in hand and already a wicket with leather.
What a start for him. First delivery right on the button there. Castling Munro, didn't have any clue about that one. Just the kind of start you want as a bowler. Going through his defences there, didn't have any clue. He was looking good, Colin Munro. This time, just not able to read Rashid Khan. He's delighted. What a game he's having. Runs with the bat and now delivering with the ball. He's out for 7. It's 29 for 1.
Madam, you are leg that.
29 for 1. Rashid Khan, who else makes the breakthrough for the Kabul Zwanan? And now Ryan Tenduskata comes in batting at number 3 for the Balkh Legends. And he comes in at a very crucial time and facing the best in the business. Always tough to get going against Rashid Khan. And even when you've been there a while, still tough to play him and pick him. Doubly difficult when you're new to the crease. Slip in place. An air of anticipation whenever this bloke's got ball in hand.
Getting a bit of turn as well. Tenduskata new to the crease, a slip in place for him, creating that pressure, and he's here because of this. Probably playing the wrong line. He was playing for that googly on that occasion. The ball just straightening up. Didn't have any clue about that one. Down the leg side, that should be a wide. The first runs conceded by Rashid Khan.
Good take from Luke Ronke. He's picked it and moved smartly down the leg side. Bowls at a fair clip as Rashid Khan, so you've got to be on your toes as the wicketkeeper. Not only do you have to pick him, but you've got to get in position early. Off the mark, Ryan Tenduskata. He's played for plenty of big teams around the world, Ryan Tenduskata. Calcutta Knight Riders. And he's done some really good things in the IPL, so he'll know what's required from this particular situation.
Well, the 4 overs from Rashid Khan are going to be very valuable. He's bowling his first over at the moment. Did mention this is a very good change in bowling. Googly once again, mixing his deliveries very nicely. That's his strength. So quick in the air. Not easy for the batsman to come down the track against him. Bowls a very flat trajectory. And he's so accurate once again. Googly will be runs this time. Going really fine.
Yeah, nicely flicked away. Usman Ghani, he would have played against Rashid Khan quite a bit. He knows what he's trying to do. Just think maybe Rashid has got his field slightly wrong here. He does bowl a lot of googlies. Maybe the man at short fine leg was too square. It's always going to go pretty fine. He needs to be on the edge of the circle and pretty fine. Welcome boundary for the Balkh Legends. Dot ball to end a successful one for Rashid Khan. 5 bowled, 35 for 1.
.35 for 1 then. Still 1 over to go in the power play.
Come on, boys.
What, Brian? I'm very disappointed you didn't wave back.
It's nice to see some enthusiasm in the crowd, and they've got plenty to be enthusiastic about because it's been a very, very entertaining match, this one, with more to come. Ryan Tenduskata in at number 3 for Balkh. And Shizad coming on to bowl his left arm spin.
The keeper's not too happy with the field placing. I think we've got a little bit of movement from the offside and a cover sweeper. So he comes in, and this is good pressure because we got a new man in, Ryan, the shot. Wrapped on the pad, big appeal. He was drifting down leg. But this is good pressure. I've used that word before by Kabul, knowing a new man is in. And of course, they can have plenty on the outfield, but they've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the infield.
Tenduskarta goes for the sweep. It's run fine. Is there some bat involved? Yes, there is. It's a Fogg maximum 4. So the first boundary for Ryan Tenduskarta.
Well, he got inside the line very quickly. Then it was just a question of ensuring that there was not bat on it. So it's a pretty effective shot, that. We take another look. Went right across and didn't try and hit it too hard. The key there went very fine. And fine leg, by the way, is in the circle. Jumps out, and mid-on was in. So Tenduskarta knowing exactly where the field is and playing accordingly.
Good cricket from Ryan Tenduskarta. As mentioned a little earlier, the vast experience that he has at this level, bringing it all to bear on that occasion. Of course, we're still in the power play, so only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Plenty of wide open spaces. And Tenduskarta finding one of them. 1 bounce for 4, a Fogg maximum.
And the good thing is, from the Kabul perspective, that they haven't changed the field. Still lots of pressure inside the circle. Of course, they do have a long off, though. Ghani, 18 from 18. And Tenduskarta has just come in.
Come on, bud, come on. Yes, take them.
So, a quick thought here, Brian. 177 with this kind of a start. Possible?
Very much so. 9 wickets in hand.
Yeah, to me, that's the key. The wickets column, keep an eye on that, folks.
Stuff.
We saw some wild acceleration in the first innings. Of course, Evans in great form, and Rashid Khan, what a blinder he played. So we'll have to presume that here too, if they have wickets in hand, they have 1 or 2 established batsmen towards the end, it could be a terrific, very interesting chase. 6 gone, no more power play overs, 45 for 1.
Balkh scoring 5 more runs in their power play than Kabul, but importantly as well, losing 2 fewer wickets. They're in a position where they can pace themselves a little bit, I guess, given that they know what the target is. Shahadullah coming on, so slow left arm from both ends now.
Usman Ghani has been trying very hard, lots of plays and misses in the inning so far, and that's why his strike rate's just about 100. Hamid was telling me that he was a very promising batsman, scored plenty of runs down under some of their tours, and then came back and got dropped, so it hurt him psychologically, and he's desperately trying to find his form back.
Tenduskarta just keeping the scoreboard ticking over.
Of course, also some attempts to change his style, because he was very aggressive and he used to love rushing out to faster bowlers as well. But he's struggled with loss of form, loss of confidence, and well, we hope that today is an important day for him to gain it all back.
Yes, Usman Ghani actually made his international debut, his one-day international debut against Hong Kong in Kuala Lumpur in May 2014. Actually made a century in his 4th one-day international against Zimbabwe, aged just 17. He's only 21 now, so plenty of time on his side still. Oh, what a terrific cut from Tenduskarta. That really was like threading the eye of a needle for a Fogg maximum 4. There was barely any gap at all between backward point and short third man, but Tenduskarta found it.
You Moved away just a bit and then brought his bat down so quickly. Watch that bat speed, which is why with the ball to speed away just to the left of backward point. Big dive being put in there, but too late.
Ryan Tenduscarter, this is the 14th side he's played 2020 cricket for.
What a pro.
And he'll keep the strike so he can count to 6 as well. 52 for 1, 53 for 1 in fact.
Come on, boys. Have a shake. Yeah, man. Yeah.
5 bowlers used so far. Rashid Khan, the captain, the most successful, the only wicket taker up to this point in time.
In.
Zahir Shahzad, starting his second over. Has played for Afghanistan at under-19 level. And remember, he could be in your myteam11.com, where you can create your own fantasy team, test your skills, and win big for real cash.
Well, I hope you guys have Laurie Evans in your team and Rashid Khan. Jumps out. Has he caught it? Well, yes, he does. That's a fog maximum. And Usman Ghani finally finding the middle of the bat. He's been struggling, trying so hard. But that should give him a lot of confidence. Straight behind the bowler.
Middle it. An anxious look as to whether it was going to clear long on, but it did in the end reasonably comfortably. Very wristy player, Usman Ghani. Manipulating the ball down to long on for another single. That's good cricket. Hit the boundary, then get off strike.
Well, most of the Afghan players are truly very strong. They obviously look after themselves well, and when they hit the ball, they can easily clear boundaries around the world.
Tenduscarter at the other end, happy to keep things ticking along. Actually the first associate player to get an IPL contract. Played for the Kolkata Knight Riders for 5 years. Remember, of course, he scored 200s in the ICC Cricket World Cup in 2011 for the Netherlands. Plenty of wide open spaces there on the onside for the batsman just to tick the score along, and given they've got a 6 off this over as well, they can afford to be prudent rather than reckless.
Heath Streak, the coach, just looking a little worried for the moment. Oh, hang on. Well, we can't have that happen. And we just ran across the side screen, and I think it's a member of the playing team.
Yes, there's a Kabul player who's just run in front of the side screen there.
Maybe deliberately. It's the opposition batting. Up in there again. This is going to be big. Towards the commentary box, just a few feet before us. Big fog maximum.
Oh, what a wonderful strike that was from Ryan Tenduscarter at the end of a good over, 16 from it, 69 for 1. Second wicket pair now have added 40 in just 23 balls that last over. Some really good acceleration, including this 6 to Ryan Tenduscarter.
Yeah, he got right to the pitch of the ball. Best place to be when you want to hit it for a big one.
And after that last over. Rashid Khan very quickly whipping himself back into the attack.
Yeah, see the worried look again on Heath Streak's face. The Kabul coach should be happy with their win yesterday. What a terrific chase. Here we are. Rashid pulls it back. And to think he's only, what, 20, 21, such a world star, Rashid Khan already. Plenty of evidence of why. Very wily leg spinner, gets plenty of spin, of course, as he says, he bowls with his fingers rather than his wrist.
Mr. 2020 around the world. Recently 17 wickets in 11 matches for the runners-up in the Vitality Blast in the UK, Sussex, and an economy rate of just 6.59. No one can collar him.
Well, no wonder we have Laurie Evans playing for them, his Sussex teammate. They had such a terrific partnership earlier today. Wrong on. This man, I think, spotted it a little late.
He got success with the ball from the very first delivery he delivered today. Just through Colin Ingram.
Yeah, classic half cock that. Didn't go forward, didn't stay back, and crashing through the gate.
Rashid Khan just using the rag at the back of the umpire's trousers to dry his hands, dry the ball, so that there obviously is a little bit of dew out there.
Here's the opposite captain, the veteran, Mohammad Nabi, who bowled so well today. His off-spinners started right at the top, of course, finished top pretty well too. So 9 gone, 74 for 1. Another good over by Rashid.
Strong start this Balkh in their first match of the tournament. Decent partnership first up between Colin Munro and Usman Ghani. Now Ryan Tendaskata and Usman Ghani continuing that progress. Plenty of quality to come there as well, with Nabi listed to come in at 5. Gulbuddin Naib in fact listed to come in at 8 actually.
Bopara listed to come in next, and he might want to cover a bit of what he gave away with the ball earlier on. Got taken for what? I think it was 28 in the penultimate over. He'd like to forget that as quickly as possible. Muslim Musa, who came in a little late today to contribute with the bat. And he's obviously a bit of an all-rounder.
Didn't have the best day with the ball yesterday. 1 over for 19.
Yeah, concern. It's their first match, Balkh. Gave away, what, 75 in the last 4 overs or so. Till then, they had Kabul very worried. But then, once Kabul accelerated, I think they will back themselves to try and defend this total here today.
Balkh haven't been together for a great deal of time ahead of this tournament. I had a quick chat with Simon Helmott, the coach, before play today, and he was telling me that the practice session that they'd had prior to this game today was only the second full practice session that they've been able to get involved with.
Well, that's the danger of league cricket. You don't get too much time to get together as a team. Usman finally, will he get a boundary here? No, not even. He's trying so hard. Trying to hit the ball maybe too hard on occasion. Nice diving stop there at mid-wicket. There it is. He did very well, because when the ball bounces a bit and you've got only a horizontal hand there, extend it, it can easily bounce over or under. But he did well.
Hazratullah Zazai at a deep backward square.
Well, that's his game. Hamid was telling me he loves rushing out to, especially the faster bowlers, but I don't know, maybe he's just trying too hard, certainly swinging too hard, can't find the timing. He's been there for a while, 35 from 30, so you can't take the 35 away, but you know, I suspect he would have liked a better strike rate. Just trying too hard. It's up to Ryan Deschartes, being the evergreen pro, to say, just calm down maybe a bit and try and caress the ball, not find your timing.
He's absolutely smashed that out to deep mid-wicket. It's got there in an instant. Ryan Descartes, look on his face said it all there, didn't it? Because he knew that a yard either side of the fielder on the boundary, and that was 4.
But again, just an indication of the fact that Descartes came, of course, much later, yet his timing is much better than Usman, who's been around for very long, just trying to hit the ball hard. Now, has he learnt? We'll see.
That's the half-century partnership between these two. Laurie Evans fielding at long on. It's not the worst bit of bowling, this, by Muslim Musa, though, because he's bowling back of a length and taking the pace off the ball. You can see Usman Ghani is coming hard at him, and Usman Ghani simply isn't managing to time those deliveries. We saw Ben Loughlin and Ravi Bopara persisting in bowling full and not taking the pace off the ball at the back end of the Kabul innings and paying the price.
Oh, one bounced a long off. So, yeah, pretty useful over by Muslim Musa. It's 80 for 1 after 10. Halfway stage, they seem to be pretty well on to the chasing run rate.
Nothing in it. Had lost a few more wickets at this stage. Kabul Zwanan, but at 80 for 1. Anybody's game still. 9 on 10 to the over, still required. 10 Descartes, 28 of 19. Usman Ghani, 36 of 31. Evenly poised.
Just coming down the track on that occasion, bowling much flatter in the air. Shahidullah. But this partnership has been good, and there's a reason still very much in the game. Bowling wide of the crease, angling it back. The right-hander just out of the crease. Impact probably also the line of off stump. So no harm done. That's sensible. Playing in the gap, picking those singles. Pretty important at this stage. 95 is what they require of 58 deliveries. Pretty relaxed. Back in the dressing room.
Does he ever feel pressure, Mohammad Nabi? He always seems relaxed. Never seems too fussed about what's going on out there. Bowled really well today. I thought his captaincy was good. And definitely he's going to have some work to do if he gets out there. Heath Streak, the coach of Kabul. Slashed away. should just be the single. They need to keep scoring though, because that run rate is in double figures, 10 to the over. And when it starts escalating, 11, 12s becomes very, very difficult, particularly if Rashid Khan has got overs in hand and you have to score 10, 12 and over off him. Very, very difficult. 16 balls since the last boundary. It's just coming down a little too early, Ryan ten Doeschate, and allows the bowler to adjust his line, adjust his length, and he's bowled a lot of arm balls. Just needs to wait a little bit more. Just signalling a little too early that he wants to come down and try and bash the ball down the ground. And at the moment, he's got his measure.
I just feel the spinners will have a big role to play here. Still a few overs left for Rashid Khan. They need a few tight overs in. 5, 6, they won't mind. The required rate will be creeping up. It's going to be another single to end the 11th over. 86 for 1.
Partnership 57 of 41 deliveries. So it's been done at a fair clip. The first one, Munro Usman Ghani, 29 of 25. Healthy run rate achieved, but just escalating all the time. Still to bat, Bapara, Rasuli, Mohammad Nabi. So they've got plenty of firepower. They just need to make sure they keep maintaining the run rate. They don't want to leave too many to get too late on. Well, he's right across his stumps very early on, Usman Ghani, and, well, I think the bowler got a bit of a fright. He stopped as he was about to deliver. What's going on? I can see all 3 stumps.
And they realized the best way was just to stop out there. Just take a grinding halt.
Just going through a period now where they don't seem to be finding their timing. They've had a few lusty blows, but just in the last 2 or 3 overs, gone off the boil a wee bit, these 2 batsmen. Rashid Khan, what has he got up his sleeve? When is he going to bowl? How is he going to shuffle everyone around in these last 9.5 overs? He's definitely got a role to play, but where will he play it?
That's a good delivery, right in the block hole. Yesterday there was a bit of dew. Let's see what the report is on the field, on the ground today. Brian is out there to check that.
Very much. I'm starting to feel a little bit like a weatherman here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Let's put our hands down here and see how damp it is. There's a little bit of moisture, but it certainly isn't as damp as it was last night. It won't be easy for the Kabul bowlers, but it's by no means impossible, I would say. They've got their rags, of course. They've got the option of having sawdust out there too. As I say, it's a little bit damp, but it's certainly by no means impossible.
It's taken. It's got him. It's a change of pace. I just said that they were struggling with their timing a wee bit out there, these two, and, well, Muslim Musa has struck. Well-disguised slower ball. It was up in the air for a long, long time, and Laurie Evans, well, you can't keep him out of the game. He had to make a fair bit of distance coming in, and I think he's made a good grab. The umpire's just asking Usman Ghani to hang about. Maybe they just want to check the front foot. Has he pressed the line? Is there another drama to what's going on out there? Is there a twist in the tail? This will give us a better indication. Well, I'll tell you what, it's very tight. Where did the heel hit the ground? That's what we got to know. There it is. So it's hit the ground, I think, behind the line. There is a little bit of heel behind the line. There's a bit of slide afterwards, but on impact, Well, there's a bit of heel behind the line. I think it's very close, but I think he's going to get away with this. I think that's a legal delivery. It's where he first makes impact, and I think we can see there that there was something behind the line. This will tell us. Well, I tell you what, from that angle, it looks like he's over the line. Oh, there we go. I think there's a bit of heel behind it. I think he's okay.
Yeah, some part has to be behind the line, and that's important. And I think just looking at that, the first landing is important. Where he landed on the first occasion. And that's, I think, slightly some part is just behind the line, as rightly mentioned, Alistair. You see from this angle, I think a bit more clearer, because the landing part was certainly, you can see that heel of the shoe behind the line. So that should be okay.
Yeah, on impact, there is something behind the line. And just remember, you've got to have something behind the line. There is a wee bit there, and I think that'll mean that he'll ask the batsman to continue the walk back to the pavilion. It was close. It was a matter of millimetres, and in the end, they're going to get a huge breakthrough. Usman Ghani gone for 40, 88 for 2 now. Well, a bit of celebration now. And another wicket falls. 88 for 2 now. The Balkh legends, and, well, one of the legends of T20 cricket comes to the crease, Ravi Bopara. Needs 6 more runs to reach 6,000. Well, that's smeared away on the leg side, and I think bounces just before the boundary rope. It was right in the slot, he followed through, and he got a lot of it. Much needed boundary for the Balkh legends. Ryan Tenduskarta carries on his merry way.
They're bowling a touch shot and gets into a very good position, giving his all. Really a lot of time. Easy pickings there for a man who's been there for some time. Tenduskarta is bashing it with a lot of authority. Got to be careful. Bowling the short pitch deliveries on a slow surface. Oh, just like a tennis shot. That should have been fielded. A misfield in the end, and resulting in a fork 4 once again.
Yeah, he just dived a little too early. That's what I think happened there. You can't fault the commitment, just the technique on this occasion. He's gone down too early, knees catching the ground. And all he's able to do in the end is parry it over the boundary. So consecutive boundaries for Tenduskarta. 1 ball remaining, and this is the 12th. Cracked away again through the offside. Should be retrieved. And will be a brace to end the 12th. 12 off it, 98 for 2. This is the last ball of the previous over. Just checking that nothing was touching the boundary rope. Yeah, that's okay. Mighty close. But before he got too close, he was able to flick it back to Captain Rashid Khan. So no damage done there. Right, so 8 overs remaining. 98 for 2. Shahidullah, none for 12. Of course, Ryan Tenduskarta and Ravi Bopara, long-time Essex teammates, so they'll know exactly what's required here. They'll know each other's games. They'll know exactly what they need to do to try and carve out a victory here for the Balkh legends.
It makes a difference, isn't it? You're played alongside for long period of time. Oh, that's a good delivery coming in. He's trying to make room for himself. He's got to be careful with the pace he's bowling at the moment. This was the last wicket, not able to time it. Going too high in the air, knew exactly that he was in trouble. And a very good running catch in the end. Important wicket of a set batsman, Usman Ghani.
Oh, an outside edge. Down the wicket again, trying to carve it away through the offside. He'll take it any which way it comes. Bit of width on offer. Looked like the arm ball as well. Beats the man at short third man.
Taking his chances, but on that occasion, a thick outside edge. Not where he intended to play. So quick in the air, bowling flat trajectory. Just getting some pat to it down the track as well. Really no point chasing. It's a very quick outfield still. Despite a bit of dew out there. The 100 up. Oh, what a shot. That's stunning. That's gone some distance. And the 50 as well for Tendulkar.
50 of just 29 deliveries. He struggled a bit of late, not finding the middle of the bat. That came right out the centre. Applause from his teammates, still plenty to do. But this is a lovely feeling as a batsman when you use your feet, get to the pitch of the ball, and you know that it's gone all the way. You know that you've given it everything. Massive blow. And again, I'm going to have to call for a few replacements because that's gone over the roof and out of the stadium. 29 balls for 50 for Brian Tendulkar. Came in at number 3 and has played a blinder thus far. And you'll know that there's still plenty to do. 6 fours, 2 sixes. Strike rate very healthy at a shade over 172.
What's important out there is also 8 dot deliveries. Just 8 dot deliveries in his 50 so far. That's where the ball is lying. Always a tough proposition to retrieve it from that part. What a knock. Tendulkar, absolutely brilliant. I think this will also help someone like Ravi Bopara, just new to the crease at the other end. The way he's shaping up, improvising. That's good effort on the field, just a single. Bopara back on strike now.
.12 off the over, so just what's required. Still a ball remaining. Bopara yet to get going. Dot ball to end the over. 13 bowled, 110 for 2.
Boys, keep going, boys. Come here, Rush.
.67 or 42. That's what's required here. If Tendulkar stays there till the end, can't help but think that they'll get over the line here. But has Rashid Khan got something to say about this game?
Oh.
I'll tell you what, there's something always happening when this bloke's bowling. Batsmen tend to think differently. Their minds become a little more muddled. And he just creates that indecision.
I think that's a very good move as well from Rashid Khan, bringing himself on now once again. Knows exactly the situation. 66 of 40 shouldn't be very tough with wickets in hand, 8 wickets left in the bank. So he knows that he's got a strike here. Break this partnership. The towel is out, a bit of dew as well. He knows his overs left are going to be very important for his side. They require a wicket as well at this stage.
I think it's very clear that they're happy to just try and get run a ball off Rashid Khan. They'll know very well that they cannot afford to attack him and lose a wicket. They'll back themselves against the other bowlers, which they've done all night. So quite happy to just see him out and make sure he doesn't get a wicket. Oh, having said that, Tenduskarta's down the wicket, doesn't read the googly, and I tell you what, it'll probably be a wide unless it clipped the pad. But Luke Ronke had a little opportunity there to maybe turn the tide of this game.
Almost getting a wicket down the track. That was really tough for the keeper as well. He was looking. Bit of deviation properly didn't help his cause. Googly once again mixing his deliveries very nicely. Running the first one hard and back for the second. That's very good running. Showing intensity in the running. Exactly what they have to do when the boundaries are not coming in this over.
One thing you can be assured of, these two are going to run like whippets between the stumps. They pride themselves on being very fit. And straight away, Tenduskarta wanted to and got there comfortably in the end. All right, so end of 14, 6 remaining, 61 required, 116 for 2. Bang on 10 to the over required. Rashid Khan a tidy over, but that was his third over, so just 1 over remaining for Rashid Khan. They'll know that. They would have done their maths. Ryan Tenduskarta has played really well. Shots all around the wicket, improvised when he needed to, found the gap, not afraid to use his feet, and well, he's had a couple of lusty blows down the ground. And he's really played a very, very good hand indeed. Ridden his luck as well. But that's what you do as a batsman. And, well, that was the shot to bring up his 50. Farid Malik back into the attack. So he's got a few overs left in him. Wayne Parnell's got a few. As we said, Rashid Khan has got one. Be interesting to see how he's going to shuffle his bowlers. I think having a word with Colin Ingram there, just getting his viewpoint. He has to try and get it spot on into his third over. Farid Malik, Parnell 2, and then Shahzad Shahidullah. Musa, he's got plenty of opportunity to use any of those 3. Who's he going to turn to?
Yeah, they've employed 6 bowlers so far. Rashid still having 1 over left. Oh, what a shot. Never easy. Made it look so simple. Great timing on that occasion. Sublime timing. That's the man in form, Tenduskarta.
Well, that's a shot of the night for me. Yes, there was width, but you've still got to execute. And it was so good to watch. Right out the middle of the bat. Have a look at that. Just opened the shoulders, opened the blade, and hit it over cover for 6, and a long way back as well. Terrific stroke. He's a fine player as Ryan Tenduskarta, and showing all his skills here tonight. 58 now of just 34 deliveries. Yeah, quite happy to hit a boundary and then take a single. They'll know how to pace this innings. That's important. Not get too greedy, not try and play a shot of ball. When you get the opportunity to score, sure, take it. But make sure in between and the bowler are going to get the ball in the right area occasionally, allow them to bowl a good ball, and just make sure of those deliveries, you're getting a single, you're rotating the strike. 1 run required for 6,000 for Ravi Bopara.
And a lot of experience as well. 301st game for him. Oh, that's a good delivery. Very good line as well. Bowling right up. Fuller up. Never easy. Just coming down the track. Ravi Bopara on 5,999 runs at the moment. There's 1 required for that 6,000 mark. Just a bit of change in the field now. The fielder at deep third man just coming inside the circle. So probably he'll be bowling that length as well within the stumps now. Can't be affording to give much room to Bopara. That's 6,000 runs for him at this level, T20 cricket. What a feat.
Only the 22nd player in the history of T20 cricket, Ravi Bopara, to score 6,000 T20 runs. That puts him up there in the top echelons of T20 players. Who would have believed that you could reach 300 T20 games all those years ago? Unbelievable career. Has been a stalwart of teams that he's played for, and just rewards for a stellar career.
Salbra's understanding the game, the situation, how you pace your innings as a batsman, how you change your gears as a batsman. That's exactly what he's done over a period of time, Ravi Bopara. Really champion player in this format. Oh, like this champion shot. Fog maximum to end the 15th over. What a strike. 131 for 2.
Thanks for joining us. You're watching the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Balkh. What a terrific chase this has turned out to be. Kabul getting to 177, courtesy some fabulous hitting by Laurie Evans and Rashid, but Ryan Tendishkata seems to have gotten past them all. Last ball of the last over, massive 6 right behind the bowler, and he's been in terrific form. Ryan Tendishkata, the ultimate professional. I've got Hamid Hassan here with me. Rashid bowling his final over, has bowled 1 over, taken a break, but 1 over, taken a break. This is perhaps the only time that he's bowled consecutive overs, but it's still going to be a very tough task for Kabul to somehow hold back the chase, Hamid.
Absolutely, Rashid is now trying to get a wicket, because at this stage, if they take a wicket of Ryan Tendishkata or Ravi Bopara, will be good for the Kabul Zwanan. But they're doing very good. They're not taking any chances on Rashid, and they're just rotating the stride, and they have to do it because Rashid is a bowler. You cannot play him easy if you like.
Yeah, he can get right on top of you, but you make a good point about just playing Rashid out, because he is, at least psychologically or by reputation, the danger man for the bowling side.
Go, Rash.
Not to be.
Brilliant, Rash. Well done, bud. Up your energy there. Go on a pal.
Ahmed, we've seen plenty of fabulous action. That opening match where 218 was chased was a sight to behold. And just very quickly, what's the news from Afghanistan? Are people really happy to see that the youngsters are getting such wonderful opportunities, and are people tuning in large numbers back in Afghanistan?
Definitely, everyone is watching right now Afghanistan Premier League, because this is the platform the youngsters can come. That's a beautiful shot for maximum 4 runs, and Rashid is not happy with field, and he's just trying to move their fielders, but it's happened, Rashid, you have to take it. So this is a brilliant platform, and Afghanistan Cricket Board, they put a right place for the youngsters, so in the future we can get some more talent, and big stars like Rashid, Mujib, Zahir Khan. These are the guys who will take Afghanistan in the future for more successful history.
Well, Afghanistan cricket's done really well the past few years. They've climbed many rungs, and I think the whole world's attention is on Afghanistan cricket. Such has been the rise. Quick single and direct throw, you never know. Bopara makes it.
That's good running between the wickets from Bopara and Ryan Tendishkata. Rashid is not happy, shaking his head, because the fielder are edge of the circle. If they are edge of the circle, they can take single easy. So keeper is just shouting, "Come on, boys!" and they're just trying to get back to the game. It's still 39 runs, 25 ball left. You never know, but the good thing is They got 8 wickets in hands.
True, you make a good point. Wickets in hand towards the end, very, very important. But Rashid has to understand that these two are very good runners between the wickets. The wrong one read easily by Ryan Tendershot. And 16 gone there, 139 for 2, Balkh. So wickets for Rashid and Musa. Only Shehzad has gone for quite a few, but it's been a reasonable bowling performance. Has anybody else impressed you? Malik maybe, he bowled very quickly today.
Malik bowled really well, 3 overs, 25 runs, not too bad. And if you see Rashid as always on top, 4 overs, 8 dots, 24 runs, 1 wicket. But the good thing is for Balkh's team, they have no overs left from Rashid, so they might be targeting some bowlers, maybe Parnell or Musa, because they have opportunity to get these runs. And Ryan Tendershot, he's in such a good form. If you see, 38 balls, 67 runs, strike rate is above 150 almost. And if you go like this, maybe they can chase the runs easy.
Parnell has 2 left. Comes back for his final spell. Tricks Deshkata here. But as long as the ultimate pro Deshkata stays around, it looks like Balkh will be able to get past that chasing mark rather easily. Ravi Bopara, luckily for him, is in a position where he can just push it around, take the single, get Deshkata back on strike.
What a good partnership from both of them. 51 runs, 28 ball, very good and very quick sessions.
Straight to short fine. Still they steal the single. Bopara very quick to back up.
This is a good thing. They don't miss any singles because they have to rotate the strike. If they're not getting a boundary, at least they rotate the strike. Otherwise, every dot ball will make a trouble for Balkh team.
You know, you were mentioning about Usman earlier on, who got in a nice 40 or so, but not in very quick time, that he's not in the team anymore. He just looked a little desperate to me, trying to hit the ball too hard. Still a valuable innings by him. What are your thoughts on his effort today?
Usman is a very good player, very talented, and he got a couple of hundreds. The way he batted today, he tried to hit very hard. Wicket is not like, as we mentioned before, as yesterday. You have to read the condition, you have to read the situation, and a wicket is not like the pace you have to maintain on a bat. So you have to wait for the ball and middle proper area and hit to the cover area, or is it mid-on or mid-off. So Usman was a little bit rushing in on, and that's why he couldn't middle some balls, but he still got like 40 runs. For his team is very valuable.
Yeah, so it's tough to say that he was struggling because he did get 40. And I wish him better luck as we go along. Just to the right of short fine. It's impossible when he got faster bowlers on. So that was a bit of a risk that Rashid took. And Parnell drifting down leg a bit, so easily taken for a fog boundary by Ryan Tendershot.
The unstoppable Ryan Tendershot, he's on fire and he's doing the right way. He's just putting the bat ball to the right areas. Ball was on leg side and he glided just for the 4 runs.
Well, we know that Parnell is possibly trying to ensure that he doesn't give Deshkata room on the offside, but such a narrow margin for error. Much better, full and straight. That's what you want towards the end, or perhaps any time. Certainly the death overs.
Yeah, you have to bowl on the right area, especially Yorkers or slower one. If you see Parnell bowlings today, most of his delivery towards leg side, and most of the delivery went straight away to the boundaries. So you have to focus, because in this stage you cannot bowl on leg side. His fine leg is up, and there is not too much protection, so you have to be very careful, and you have to be ball according to the plan.
Straight to long on. So just a single to end that over. 17 gone. It's 147 for 2.
Required of 3 overs. Importantly, Balkh have 8 wickets in hand, and there are no more overs for Kabul captain Rashid Khan. Hamid Hassan alongside me. Hamid, whose camp would you like to be in more at the moment, Kabul or Balkh?
To be honest, I have to say Balkh, they have a chance to chase the score. The thing is, they got a wickets in hands, and it will be the bowler they might targeting, Muslim Musa, because they don't have any specialist bowler like Rashid. So they have to get like at least, maybe they be targeting 15 to 20 runs in this over. So Bopara is on strike. Let's see what he got next.
This partnership is worth 59 from just 33 balls. Heaved over towards the onside for a fog maximum 4. There's a gap between deep backward square leg and deep mid wicket, and Bopara found it.
Absolutely, Bopara have a class of everywhere he can play, and as I mentioned before, they will target a 1 over. It might be that will be the over to change the game for both sides, even for Balkh or for Kabul Zwanan. So captain is just sharing his words with Musa, like you have to do something special, but to be honest, they both are in such a good form.
It's a wide. Hamid, if you were in Rashid Khan's place at the moment, what would you be saying to Muslim Musa? What would you want him to be doing?
To be honest, I have to say him, because if you see Muslim Musa fields, it's almost cover the offside area. There's a deep cover, deep mid on, deep mid off, deep mid on. So you have to bowl on offside the off stump, full length, Yorker.
Down towards long on, and it's cleared long on by a long, long way. Ravi Bopara, well, this is the over that Hamid Hassan mentioned, surely, that Balkh have decided it's time to go and go big, and that's exactly what Bopara is doing.
If I was a captain, I wouldn't say that, try to do a slow ball half volley. And he played it really well, and Rashid is confused now. He don't know what to do. And bowler is in pressure right now. It's another beautiful shot. Fog maximum 4 runs. Beautiful shot on the onside.
Yes, quite clearly Muslim Musa is suffering with a scrambled brain at the moment. He just doesn't know where to bowl to Ravi Bopara. He's bowling different lengths, different lines. He's just not settling at all, and Bopara's got into his head.
His body language is telling everything of Muslim Musa. He's in pressure, and he's trying everything, but unfortunately he's not getting on the right areas. Ravi Bopara, he's not missed any ball to take a boundary or single.
Fine legs in the circle, that's Parnell. I think that's come off the thigh pad. Indeed it has, it's signalled as leg by. But it's just a runner ball now, so it should really be a cakewalk for the Balkh legends.
Yeah, it is, but it's cricket, Brian. You cannot take it easy until the last ball deliver. So there's a still chance. If some miracle happened like yesterday, as we mentioned, Lawrence got like the 79 runs. He changed the game. So, but in this stage, it's very difficult to save like 14 runs on 13 ball, but we're still hoping for the both sides. But right now, Balkh is on top.
You'll have to say that Balkh have been on top for the majority of this match, apart from that little spell at the back end of the Kabul innings, where Kabul added 73 in the last 4 overs when they were batting through Rashid Khan and Laurie Evans. Width from Muslim Musa, and that's 4 more. Bopara, he's going to town at the moment. That's the end of the over, and a big over too. 168 for 2. Another double-header day tomorrow in the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League. And the first match we've got for you, Paktia Panthers against the Nangarhar Leopards. That will be followed subsequently by Balkh, who look as though they're going to get over the line here with the victory, and they'll be up against the Kandahar Knights. Wayne Parnell starting over 19. So just 8 runs required now, and that last over cost 21 runs from Muslim Musa, and there's the last ball of that over, and Bopara really enjoying himself.
Yeah, he played such a wonderful cricket today, along with Ryan Tendiskarta, the 50 he got, and now Bopara on 33. As I mentioned, the last over of Muslim Musa, he can change the game. And he gave 21 runs, and that's why Balkh on top now. So they can chase the score easy as they want.
Hamid, we've seen all 5 sides in the tournament now. Who's impressed you and why so far?
To be honest, very balanced side of Nangarhar. As I said, they have very good, decent side, batting, bowling, fielding, everything is complete. Second team will be Balkh, like very strong from batting point of view, but the only thing is they have not enough spinners in today's game. I don't know if they have in the squad or not. It's a beautiful shot to the extra cover, the chance for run out. Oh, luckily he saved.
Frustration as 2 runs were scored when perhaps they shouldn't have been. You could just hear the screams of Wayne Parnell and Luke Ronke, not happy that that second was conceded.
Yeah, it should be not 2 runs. It's a very bad piece of fielding from Hazratullah Zaze. Very lazy, and he couldn't control the second run. So they're doing so well, and only 5 runs left, 9 balls remaining. And I think Ryan Tendiskarta looked a little bit tired. Yeah, he have to, because he scored 77 of 45 deliveries. Well done.
Sweat dripping from his helmet.
Such a class he is. He's guiding towards mid-wicket easy.
You've seen plenty of him over the years, of course, in associate and affiliate cricket as well. You know exactly what he's capable of.
Yeah, I remember in 2010 he was playing for Netherlands, and he won the game from us by only himself. He took the game from beginning. He was like the guy who's leading from the front, and then he stopped playing from Netherlands, and he's a person like playing all formats of T20 internationals in everywhere in the world.
That's it. Victory for the Balkh legends, and Ravi Bopara, the man who brings that victory with a crunching shot through extra cover. He and Ryan Tendiskarta have added 89 from just 44 balls, and Balkh, their first appearance in the Afghanistan Premier League for 2018, and it's brought them victory. For Kabul, well, they've bumped back down to earth with quite a hit. They got that impressive victory yesterday at the death, but this time they've been well and truly outclassed. A tremendous win for Balkh. They've won by 8 wickets and they've won with 7 balls to spare.
Absolutely outstanding innings from both players, and they finish with style, and that's how we was looking for. And Balkh is on top now, and they were looking forward to play against Kandahar tomorrow, because Kandahar already lost the game today and they will be in pressure. I would like to congratulate Balkh's team for their fantastic effort in bowling, especially in the batting. Last 4 overs did not goes well for Balkh, because I think conceded 70 runs almost in 4 overs. But doesn't matter. They have Ryan Tendulkar and Ravi Bopara. They chase the score for Balkh. Easy.
Yes, a little bit of retribution there from Bopara. He was one of the bowlers who really suffered at the hands of Rashid Khan and Laurie Evans, but he got his own back there, didn't he, with a terrific display. 38 from 21 balls, and Tendulkar leading the way, 78 from 46, and really in the end they've won comfortably. Handshakes all round, and the crowd that have turned up here this evening at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium for this Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League match, the 3rd of 23 that we've got for you over the course of 17 days, have really been entertained absolutely superbly.
Yeah, it's a fantastic achievement for Afghanistan Cricket Board. They organized the tournament, Afghanistan Premier League, sponsored by Gulbahar and powered by Falk. So I wish them congrats for this fantastic achievement, and we will get in the future lots of talent from this format for the national team, for different regions and T20 formats.
There's the scorecard for the Balkh Legends. Just a couple of wickets going down in their chase. Colin Munro cleaned up by Rashid Khan's first ball after an opening stand of 29. Usman Ghani, he batted tidily as well before Muslim Musa dismissed him, but then that only let in Ravi Bopara. Ryan Tendulkar as well, and a really, really impressive partnership from those Essex teammates. And here's the bowling figures, and not a great deal to write home about from a Kabul point of view. Rashid Khan and Muslim Musa the only successful bowlers, but other than that, not an awful lot to get excited about. So this is what we've seen this evening, the second match of the day. Kabul Zwanan, 176 for 6. A real rally from them at the back end of their innings, with Laurie Evans, a second successive half-century for him after his effort yesterday, and Rashid Khan, the captain, some swashbuckling batting. But the Balkh Legends in the end won comfortably. Remember, they won the toss today and opted to chase rather than set. And it turned out that Mohammed Nabi's decision was fully justified, with Ryan Tendulkar and Ravi Bopara getting their side home with a little bit to spare, 7 balls in hand, in fact. So, still early days in terms of the standings for this Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League 2018, and Nangarhar Leopards winning earlier today, beating the Kandahar Knights. Balkh Legends, that was their first game of the tournament. Paktia Panthers losing yesterday to Kabul in that thriller, the opening match of the tournament. So Kabul have now won 1 and lost 1. But as I say, early days in the tournament, and bear in mind, of the 5 teams taking part in this event, 4 of them will qualify for the playoffs at the back end. We've got another couple of matches for you tomorrow. Paktia against Nangarhar. coming up as the first of those matches at 4 o'clock. Pakistan are looking to bounce back from their defeat yesterday. And Balkh Legends against Kandahar Knights. Kandahar losing today. Balkh, we've just seen them victorious. And that is the second match of the day tomorrow. Bear in mind, of course, on Monday, that'll be the first rest day of the tournament. We'll be back soon with the presentation with Charu Sharma, so please stay with us.
So much talent and skill on display at the Gulbahar APL powered by FOG. At the end of day two, a rather comfortable win in their first match for Balkh. Congratulations to them, of course, commiserations to Kabul. A big thank you to the Afghanistan Cricket Board and, of course, all the major sponsors. I'm going to read out a few for their contribution. Snixer Sports, FOG Sent, Channel 4, 89.1, Q Ticketing, Kabul Mobile, Kabul Afghani, Al Zahra Medical Center, Sports Connection, and Khalij Times. And now, of course, a quick introduction to the presentation party at the end of day two. To my left, first, from the Technical Committee of the Afghanistan Premier League, Mr. Taj Malik Alam. Congratulations on a fine tournament. Assistant Manager at Gulbahar Group of Companies, Mr. Aditya. Aditya, I just want to take a special moment to thank you and your company for sponsoring, being the title sponsors of the league. We're all very proud of you. Thank you so much. To his left, of course, owner of Kabul Mobiles, Mr. Kabul Safi. Thank you again for your support. And finally, to the far left, Mr. Aftab Khan, CEO, Kabab Al-Afghani. And that brings us to the awards. There are three of them. The first, presenting a check of $500. Can I please ask Mr. Kabul Safi to step forward for the stylish player of the match? And once again, back-to-back 50s, it's Laurie Evans. Not a player of the match today, but certainly very stylish knock. Laurie, congratulations. Eventually for a losing cause, but personally, I'm sure you were delighted at your continuing form. Mr. Aftab Khan to step forward next to present a check of 1 AED for the winner of the most sixes of the match, 5 in all. I know personally he may be disappointed, but the winner of that award, Rashid Khan. Well done, Rashid. What a knock. Rashid is also the skipper of the Kabul team. And Rashid, since you're here, can I have a word with you, please? Rashid, once you're through with the photographs, we'd love to have a short word with you, so we don't have to make you come back in again. Rashid, we know your ability with the ball, but with the bat today, magnificent. Congratulations. I know not team-wise, but you personally.
Yeah, that's what I have been working from the last 1 year, especially in the batting. I have to show it, with my bowling, my team always did my batting as well in the depth. So I'm always working hard in the nets, and, result is in the ground. So it was a very good, try my best to keep this continue.
Yeah, we hear that, of course, you started out being a batsman and only much later celebrated leggy. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. I started my cricket as a batsman, but later on when I see that with the bowling I can go ahead, just focus a lot on the bowling rather than the batting.
I've got to ask you this. I mean, you raced away to 176, and at that point you must have thought, well, maybe the momentum's with you. How is the morale of the team after you went down today?
I think 170 was a good total on this wicket, but the later on the dew always affect the game, but the bowlers did really well. Credit goes to the Tendo. I think the way he played, the way he took the innings was superb. All the credit goes to him. So overall, it was a good team effort. We learned lots of things, and hopefully in the upcoming matches we will not repeat the mistakes we have done and do the positive things.
Yeah, wicket off the very first delivery and a fine 50. Congratulations individually. Too bad about the team loss today. Good luck for the rest.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Rashid Khan, ladies and gentlemen, big star of Afghanistan cricket, world cricket, I might say so, but captain of the losing team today, sadly. And of course, that brings us to our final award, the player of the match. May I ask Mr. Aditya to step forward for the check, and of course, Mr. Taj Malik Alam will give away the trophy. Who else could it be? The ultimate professional, ladies and gentlemen, please do put your hands together for Ryan Tendish Carter. Player of the match. There you go, Ryan. That's for your efforts. The check first from Mr. Aditya. And right behind you, Mr. Taj Malik Alam, member of the technical committee of the Afghanistan Afghanistan Premier League, beg your pardon, with the trophy. And Ryan, can we have a quick word with you too, please? Well, I keep saying, Ryan, ultimate professional. What an innings today. Another day in the office.
Yeah, I actually haven't batted 3 before, so I just really try to follow the team's plans very clearly. And the way Usman batted up top was crucial for us, and then Ravi with his experience at the end helped me finish it off. But it was a good team effort. I think Rashid made the point there about the dew coming in. I think being tactical about how you go about a chase is very important, and I think as a team we went about it in the right way.
Always nice to be generous about the opposition. But, when you went back in the dugout at the halfway stage, and especially after leaking all those runs in the, 17th, 18th, 19th over, what was the mood like?
It was good. I think it was an indication that the wicket was getting better. Like I said, the dew started to set in about that time, and luckily we had bowled very well up front. So we were disappointed. We probably could have bowled better, and I'm sure we'll touch up on that afterwards. But I think, on a small field and with a decent wicket, I think 180 is always gettable.
Yeah, all right. Away from this match, might I ask you, is there any country that you have not played cricket in?
Probably just the Caribbean at the moment, as far as I know. But it's great to be in Afghanistan's first T20 competition. It's been fantastic watching their rise as a national team and some of the special players they've brought through. So to be in the very first competition is a real honour.
I hope the Caribbean teams are listening. All right, Ryan, well played today.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Ryan Tendish Carter, ladies and gentlemen, the player of the match, leaves us with only one duty. I'm going to call upon Mohammad Nabi to come and join me, the captain of Balkh, winning their first match in the Gulbahar APL powered by Fog. Nabi, we were all waiting to see you bat.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ryan played very well at the overall game. Yeah, we know that the run will be chaseable for that kind of condition. We know that later on will be more due for it's difficult to bowl for the spinner on that kind of condition.
Well, when you were bowling, you bowled really well, but your team doesn't seem to have any other spinner in the current 11.
Yeah, but we have a one leggy Kais already. He arrived late because he played under 19 in Asia Cup in Bangladesh. Maybe he played tomorrow. Yeah.
I know you've played for Afghanistan ever since the start of cricket, but you must be particularly pleased that the youngsters are getting such a wonderful opportunity here with the APL.
Yeah, from last 18 years, I'm representing Afghanistan. I know the whole journey was going on and what's going on now.
You still look 18.
No. It's a good platform for the youngster to show his talent to the world and also to the Afghanistan selection committee. We have a talent in this kind of condition here.
Well, it's a long tournament, but it's always nice to begin with a win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mohammad Nabi, the skipper of the Balkh team, starting out with a very comfortable win. That's all from the presentation arena. Of course, a big thank you to the presentation party, and we'll take you back to the commentary box to finish it up.
So, success for Balkh, and comfortable success in the end, thanks to Ryan Tenduskarter and Ravi Bopara with their excellent partnership, which secured victory, and that after they'd restricted Kabul Zwanan to 176 for 6, despite an onslaught from Laurie Evans and Rashid Khan. That was a tremendous partnership between those two, as Kabul put on 73 in the last 4 overs. But in the end, they needed probably another 10 or 15 runs to really test the Balkh legends, particularly given the way that Tenduskarter and Bopara played at the back end. So early days, but let's have a recap of the points table. And Nangarhar and Balkh winning their opening matches. Kabul